Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Let's go!
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
The countdown to Arizona football is on.
Fires the pass towards the back corner. Touchdown, Arizona. It was Hunter. Yeah, Chris Hunter.
When Chris Hunter and the Cats take the field on August 30th, you'll hear it right here on Wildcats Radio, 1290.
Nobody covers your Cats like we do. We are the home of your Arizona Wildcats. KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus Media station.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
And a great Monday afternoon to you. Thanks for joining us. Hope you had a great, stellar weekend. Stayed cool and hydrated and all that good stuff because it continues to be sweltering hot here in southern Arizona. The first full weekend of NFL preseason. How did your team do? Are you happy with what your team did to open up the preseason? My Browns looked good. At least Shedeur Sanders did. Had a nice accounting of himself. Got off to a slow start, but really made some nice plays. We were actually talking about that when we left you on Friday because that game had come on, and he'd already thrown for his 2 touchdown passes as the show was ending. Got a chance to go back and watch that over the weekend. What did your team do? How did you feel about them? Cardinals, first team I thought was good. I thought that other than the fact that Kyler Murray threw a really bad interception and they couldn't convert a 3rd and 1, which again, I mean these are important things that when you get into the regular season, you can't turn the ball over the red zone and you've got to be able to get short yardage first downs to try to extend drives and maybe get more than 3 points. I think other than those two things, the first team offense for the Cardinals was really, really good. And we saw some interesting things from the defense. We talked to Theo Mackey last week, and one of the things I asked him about was the late round pick, Keaton Crawford out of Nevada. I like this kid. He had an interception in the second half, and that was something he was kind of known for being on the collegiate level. He was known for being a ball hawk. And Keaton Crawford made his way into the stat book in his first unofficial game in the National Football League. Patrick Mahomes, 1 pass, 1 touchdown. Patrick Mahomes, there you go. Patrick Mahomes doing exactly what Patrick Mahomes does for the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, we did not get a chance, however, to see. I don't even think Travis played in that game, did he? I didn't see him out there at all. Unfortunate injury for Deion Bush for the Chiefs. I mean, again, this is football, and it's sad to see things like that. Christian Roland Wallace had a nice game for the Kansas City Chiefs. We've talked about him a little bit of late as we had our question of the day a week and a half ago now, who the best cornerback of the last 10 years was, and I said Christian Roland Wallace. He had a pass deflection in that ball game. Keon Bars played on the defensive line for the Cardinals in that game and had a really nice run stuff tackle. So good stuff. Good stuff for a lot of the Arizona Wildcats who are trying to make it in the National Football League. I believe Tyler Loop. Tyler Loop did not have the longer. There was the kid from Jacksonville, or was they hit the 70-yard field goal or something like that? Taking Tyler Loop's thunder there, but it sounded like everybody had a pretty good in terms of the Wildcats. We were talking to Brent Brennan today during practice. He said Jonas Avianaya looked good for the Dolphins, and obviously Tetairoa McMillan had his first catch in the National Football League in an exhibition game as well. So we can dive into all of that. What you saw, what'd you like? What didn't you like? I want to hear about you about what you liked from your team. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. Exhibition week number 1. I was just asking Dragon Ball, I can't believe there's no game tonight. Why is there no game tonight?
Because no one has the rights to go ahead and play preseason games outside of the NFL Network and local television broadcasts.
Goodness gracious.
I mean, the Jacksonville Jaguars game where the Steelers were playing, it was basically sponsored by the University of Florida, from what I could gather.
Is that right?
There was a big banner at University of Florida right behind the broadcast group.
Did Aaron play in that game?
Aaron did not play. No. He is not going to play, probably not till maybe the third week. But
like Joe Flacco, he's not probably going to play much at all.
Nah, I'd imagine the 40-year-olds are probably going to take a step back in most cases.
There you go. Throw those young guys out there, but we 40-year-olds, we've been around this block too many times to have to worry about playing in these preseason games. Any takeaways from the Steelers that you likes or dislikes? Did you watch the game at all? Or?
They're attacking the middle of the field with a 6'7" tight end, which means that they're utilizing their weapons. But nonetheless, again, it's preseason. You're mostly watching for the depth. Particularly towards the second half of the game. But they had a good couple of looks. The wide receivers looked like they had a pretty decent passing game. Definitely to work on the run game, but that's what I took away from the first preseason game. Again, you can't take too much from the first preseason game, though.
Did Travis do anything in that game at all? Travis Hunter?
Yeah. He got stiff-armed to the ground pretty good by Caleb Johnson, but he flashed both on offense and on defense. He was out there for a few plays. I think he looks pretty promising.
There you go. All right, we'll see. All right. Cam Ward obviously made his debut as well, played pretty well as the number 1 overall pick for the Titans, although they did not win that game. Of course, winning and losing doesn't really matter in the preseason. You want to see your team play well, your backups play well, but at the end of the day, those things don't count at this point because, like Bruce Arians once said, these aren't the Cardinals right now. But always good to see what's happening and who's out there and who's shining and who's potentially going to be that guy you want to watch for the rest of training camp. All right, in terms of your Arizona Wildcats, they had a practice on Saturday night. They were off on Sunday. They got back to work today on Monday. Friday, I kind of ranted a little bit because, again, the offense was not very good on Friday. At least the first team offense was not very good in practice on Friday, and the defense continues to win the day. So Saturday night, we finally got to the stadium Saturday night. First time, is weird because, again, 3 weeks from Saturday night, this past Saturday night, we're going to be in there doing it for real. So it was good to get in the stadium in that atmosphere at night and kind of start to begin to get that feeling for college football. The first team offense on Saturday night, I thought was much better. Now, again, there's a lot of different moving parts to fall camp. There's a lot of caveats to fall camp. You can look at things in a lot of different lenses in terms of fall camp. And overall, I thought the first team offense, which I've not been very impressed with through the first 9 or 10 days of camp, I thought they were much better on Saturday night. Now, there's a flip side to that there were plays. Noah made some plays. He still took some sacks. I mean, and we'll get into the whole how sacks are done in fall camp. You're not tackling quarterbacks to the ground, so you're kind of watching for, sometimes the defensive back will run by or the defensive player will run by and just kind of touch. It's kind of two-hand touch kind of thing in fall camp. And so if you can see that and that happens, then you can mark that down in your book as a sack. He made some nice plays down the field. Now, let me kind of explain how these plays work, okay? There were 3 plays that he made down the field that most people were talking about after practice. He made 2 really nice throws to Chris Hudson, who's the transfer out of Oregon and Washington State. That if you head on over to our Facebook or Twitter account right now at Wildcats1290, we've got some sound from him up there on our Twitter page. He is the absolutely most inked up. Do either of you guys have ink?
No. I have no tattoos on me.
So
no.
we are completely inkless broadcast. I don't know if cricket has ink either. I'm not noticed any, but we are completely inkless broadcast here because I don't have any tattoos. You don't have any tattoos. Apparently, J-Dub doesn't have any
I've drawn hundreds of tattoos for people,
but
I don't have any tattoos on my body.
Okay. Do you drew them for people or you drew them for like the actual artist, the tattoo artist?
I'm an artist. That's what I went to school for. And I've illustrated a bunch of books, and like that's what I've did for a different part of my life. So yeah, I've drawn a lot of tattoos that are on people, but I don't have any. I made the choice long ago. I don't really have any interest in ink, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Chris Hudson has a lot of interest in ink. He's got it all over his body, so head on over. In fact, I'll let you hear that coming up a little bit later in the show. But he basically went down every single. I asked him to go break down every single piece of ink that he had on his body. He went through the whole diatribe of what everything means that he has tattooed on him. But Chris made a really nice long ball catch in the practice on Friday. He also had an excellent 50-50 ball where he had to go up the ladder to make a catch, and so did Trey Spivey. Trey Spivey had a 50-50 ball catch on Saturday night. He had a 50-50 ball catch today in practice that was absolutely unbelievable going up the ladder. So in the last two practices, Trey Spivey has made beautiful, beautiful catches as well. Now, the thing about the 3 catches in the game on Saturday is I had them marked in my book as sacks, okay? So now the way this works in fall camp is sometimes they will blow the play dead. Sometimes they will blow the play dead if it's an obvious sack, but then there's other times where they just will let the play play out, and whatever happens happens. And so you have to look at it through 2 different lenses. Could Noah have gotten this pass off in a real game? He got it off in practice. What happened on the other end of it? And what happened on the other end of it was awesome. There were some great catches made by his wide receivers. Now, you can go back to the first part of that and say, well, in a game, he wouldn't have even gotten that pass off. And so the 3 best plays in the game, the practice, I had marked down as sacks. Okay, so that's kind of how that works. But they were good plays on the other end. And so, again, these are the different lenses that you have to look at when you're talking about fall camp. And so if you look at it through the sack lens and the fact that he probably would not have gotten off those 3 passes in an actual game, he probably took about 6 sacks on Saturday. That's not good. That's not good. You want your quarterback getting rid of the ball faster. Now, again, I thought he was better. I thought he was much better than what we had seen in the previous practice, at least on Friday, which, again, was not very good at all. And today, there were still some issues. The best thing about today's practice was the offensive line and the run game. The offensive line and the run game had a really, really good day. And I think that was one of the focuses of today's practice was inside run drills. And so sometimes, like when they break up into sessions, I stay a lot of times with the quarterbacks and the receivers. But today, one of the reasons is because it's hot. And so when the quarterbacks and the receivers are on the main field, and so you can find shaded areas to watch practice. Where if you go over to the defensive field, which is the old Jimenez field where they used to practice back like in the Mike Stoops days, if you go over to that field, there is no shade whatsoever. So you're literally standing out in the sun for whatever 10, 15, 20 minutes that you're over there. So, but I wanted to go watch the lines today. And so I went over to that field, and the first offensive line in the inside run drill against the first defensive line was excellent. I mean, Tristan Bounds from the right tackle position had some really good blocks. The tight ends, which right now is Tyler Powell and Sam Olsen, they had some really good blocks. So I really was impressed with the first team offensive line in the inside run drill. Then they went back over to team, and they did the same thing. They had a lot of success in the run aspect of it, maybe not as much success in the pass game. That's clearly, to me, where the separation is right now with this offensive line, is that they're showing a capability to run block, but they're still kind of up and down in terms of the pass blocking. Noah had a bunch of balls batted down today. He had to throw a bunch of balls out of bounds today. And it just, again, he's not completing as many passes as I would like to see from him in that respect. But overall, I thought in terms of the run game, the offensive line was money in today's practice. And we did see the great catch by Trey Spivey, although Trey was working with the twos, and that pass came from Braden Locke. So Braden Locke threw another nice ball in today's practice. So we can dive into that. If you have any questions, 520-848-1290. Your first opportunity to see this team is going to be on Sunday. We'll get into that in our next segment. They're going to have a meet the greet. You'll get a chance to meet the team on Saturday, and Sunday's practice is going to be open. They're actually going to practice in the stadium back-to-back nights. Tomorrow normally would be Monday. Today was the first day back. It would be Monday morning, Tuesday morning, Wednesday night. But they're going to go Tuesday and Wednesday night in the stadium because they felt like after Saturday night that they got to get more practice in underneath the lights of the stadium to prepare for the fact that they're going to play likely their first three. I think, in fact, all three of those games have already scheduled. Their first three games are all going to be night games at Arizona Stadium, so they've got to be ready for that atmosphere. So they'll practice at the stadium tomorrow night and Wednesday night.
I have a question. You asked if anybody had a question.
Yeah,
I have a question.
Yes.
It's a college football question, not necessarily Arizona Wildcats. How in the hell can the number one ranked team in the country be an underdog in their first game?
Is that who is number one?
So Texas was just named number one overall in the AP poll for the first time in their school's history, and they're playing Ohio State on the road in game one, and they're a 2.5-point underdog. First time ever that the preseason number one team in the country is an underdog in their first game.
Wow.
To me, that's strictly because of the home field advantage for Buckeyes. Yeah. That has to be it. Because, granted, I don't know if I would have voted Texas as the number one team. I definitely wouldn't have voted Penn State to be the number two if Texas is the number one. But again, I want to say that that's strictly horseshoe advantage.
Yeah, it's like situation. What 4 points? Like how much is a home field these days for a top team?
For a top team
3.5
in college football,
points, yeah.
Probably about 3.5, maybe 2.5 if you want to be real nice.
I guess when you're the defending champions and you're playing at home, you get those types of advantages.
So it's horseshoe and banner unveiling advantage.
There you go. There you go. Absolutely. That'll be the game of the day on Saturday, August the 30th. They'll play that game way before we get going. That's a 9 a.m. start out here. If you're going to get up early to watch that.
If
and we
I've
don't
got
get
to
the field
set an alarm
7
to wake up to watch a football game, that's a problem.
I hear you, man.
The East Coast
I've been
needs
setting
to be
alarms
stopped.
my entire life to watch NFL football because I've lived on the West Coast for a large part of that. DK on the sports tip, 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. Much more straight ahead. Went out to the Saguaros game last night. It was a lot of offense, needless to say, but they were able to get the win after losing Friday night, or Saturday night, I should say. And so tonight we will have a deciding Game 3. We'll be right back out there at Keno Veterans Memorial Stadium at 7 o'clock. Saguaros and San Rafael, one game to win the Pecos League Championship. We'll dive into that as well on our show today moving forward. DK on the sports tip. Cricket getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the Auto Nation, Honda, and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Linda Vista near Camino de Oeste with a police activity in the area of Linda Vista near Camino de Oeste for police activity. Oracle and McGee and Oracle reported collision. And weather-wise, 105 tomorrow, only 100 on Wednesday, and 105 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Superstar Car Wash.
If you know, you go. At Superstar Car Wash, we're proud to have over 550,000 members. Be in the know and try what everyone loves today. Text SuperAZ to 27800 to get 50% off our best wash. Terms and conditions apply.
The jungle has moved afternoon, so grab your best Tucson tuxedo and join us on the Jim Rome Show weekdays from noon till 3 p.m. right here on the flagship home of your Arizona Wildcats, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Ever wish you could get advice from your future self?
Psst. Hey, you, present self. Huh? Who said that? It's me. I mean you, from 40 years in the future. Future me? Wow. Look, there's no time. The most important thing you need to do right now is go to Tobacco Barn. Tobacco Barn? Why? We could have saved a fortune. What are you talking about? At Tobacco Barn, you save up to 40% on your favorite tobacco products. 40%! Do you know how much that adds up to over 40 years? 40%? Wow, that's a lot. And get this, you pay no city or state sales tax. It's basically free money. Plus, there's a $3 coupon available at tobaccobarntucson.com. A $3 coupon? No sales tax, 40% off. Why didn't you tell me sooner, future self? By the way, when you meet a girl named Charlene, don't ask her to marry you. I already did. Oh, crud.
Don't wait for your future self to tell you. Save today at Tobacco Barn, Nogales Highway, 1 mile south of Valencia. Check tobaccobarntucson.com.
You need parts? O'Reilly has parts. Get one free set of brake pads when you buy 2 brake rotors. Upgrade to Brake Best Select pads for just $10. Or upgrade to Brake Best Select Pro or Import Direct pads for just $20. Product availability. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. What is your next success story? At University of Maryland Global Campus, you can succeed again with more than 135 affordable online degrees and certificates to help you move your career forward. From cybersecurity and AI to healthcare and MBA, our programs help you build critical thinking, leadership, and communication skills that set you apart in today's job market. Apply now and save with no application fee through September 3rd. Visit umgc.edu to get started. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Download our app. It slaps. Nobody covers Southern Arizona sports like we do. Don't miss out on any of the highlights, stories, and analysis. The flagship home for Arizona Wildcats athletics, Wildcats Radio 1290.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-410-6744. 800-410-6744. 800-410-6744.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems, like snoring, aches and pains, hot sleep, or even an old saggy mattress that can keep you up at night. And our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now get a king bed for a queen price, plus a free adjustable base with select Sealy mattresses. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. 520-848-1290. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. Arizona football, day 10 in the books. 11 and 12 will be night practices at Arizona Stadium. We had a chance to be at both the last two practices Saturday night. Some of the other notes, I take a lot of notes when I go to practice. So just if you can see there, I have my still Pac-12, my old Pac-12. This is a very nice Pac-12 basketball notebook that I used to take all my notes in. All right, so let's see notes on pad here from day 9 of the practice. I'm going to give you the good and the bad.
Shade in this field. Note
Exactly.
1, more shade trees.
Shade, yeah. I'll give you just some of the goods and the bads. We had some drops early in practice. I won't put all the names out there, but wide receivers. Yeah, we've seen more drops in the last week or so. The first week was really good. The second week there's more drops. I think that's probably because, again, guys are starting to get tired. But this is good because this is now when you really got to work on concentrating to catch the football. And we saw quite a few drops. We saw some drops today, some drops Saturday night that led to interceptions, including a pick 6. Zone read. It had a nice zone read run. There's going to be a little bit more zone read in this offense. For Seth Dagey and Noah Fafita had a nice zone read run in the they like to go hurry up early. They go hurry up early in practice. He had a nice run there. Neither one of the first or second offensive units was very good in the hurry-up phase, and we are continuing to see a young man on defense by the name of Malachi Bailey. He is a transfer. I believe he went to Alcorn State, if I'm not mistaken. And he's a guy that's standing out early. He's out of Atlanta, Georgia, 6'2", 275 pounds. He's a redshirt senior, so he'll only have one season here. But Malachi Bailey could be a young man that has some things to say about the makeup of that defensive line. So that's just a few of the early notes on scorecard from Saturday's practice. Afterward, we got a chance to hear from the head coach. Let's find out what Brent Brennan has thought about the first 9 practices of fall camp.
What's up? It's good to see everybody. Great night. I love being in Arizona Stadium. Obviously, this is the first time we've been able to get in here this training camp so far. I think it's important for our players to just be on the surface we play on. I think it's important for them to feel the atmosphere or just feel the environment, the lights, all of it, just what the turf's like. And so it was a great night. It's one of those things that we're talking about a lot, with our campaign in the fall, Own the Night, and with just as many night games as we play here at the U of A, just finding ways to get us in here at nighttime to get us a chance to feel what it feels like and be in the place where we're going to play games. And I'm excited, watching the guys run around, the excitement. Nighttime practices always have great energy, so that was a lot of fun. I know we've got a big week ahead. We've got a lot of work to do still, and we're looking forward to next weekend on the 16th when we have the Meet the Team event, where it's going to be a great opportunity for everybody in Tucson to meet our players and be around them and get a feel for what they're all about. And I think that'll be awesome. And then Sunday night, 17th, we have an open practice. So I'm looking forward to all of it. It's we're 9 days in. I like where we're at. We got a lot of work to do, and we're moving forward.
We'll start with Justin and then Michael. So Chris Hudson had a big practice today, making a couple acrobatic catches. What's special about his playmaking abilities and just kind of what he's going to do for the offense?
Well, I think our expectations for Chris are really high. He's a young man that's played a lot of football, so he has, he kind of matches high-level talent with a lot of experience. And, and then you see him, he plays with a lot of confidence out there. And I think that's one of those things that's a lot of fun. He's a really technically sound receiver. I mean, he's fantastic. Just me as a receiver guy, I'm always trying to pick on little things with him, really, but he's really, really clean that way. And so it's fun to see him make the plays. I think, him and Noah are building some good chemistry. And I'm excited to see the things he's going to do this fall.
Michael and Jason.
Gio Richardson is one of the guys we're going to talk to here in a little bit. What are your impressions of his game so far?
Well, it's fun, right? Because, Gio had the injury at the end of his high school career, so he was unavailable in spring practice. It's been great to see him really push and get healthy and start to, find ways to get into the mix this fall. My favorite thing about Gio is that he's a tough-ass kid. And you saw that in high school. He played both ways, obviously on a really good high school football team. He's competitive as all get out, and then he's got real speed. And so he plays with a nice confidence and nice swagger out there. he's young, but he does not look like a young player running around out there with the offense.
Jason and then Troy. Well, that's a two-question round. What's clicked for Malachi Bailey from spring to now?
You got to ask him. I mean, that's a good question. I mean, I think for a lot of those guys, a lot of the transfer portal guys, that thing happens fast. And I think there's a little bit of just kind of shell shock. Totally new environment, totally different from where he's from. He's away from family. He's kind of on the other side of the country. And, I think there's a lot of players, when they go through the portal, they don't, like, how can they anticipate that? They've never experienced it before, right? And I think that's something for him, getting used to new teammates, getting used to new scheme, used to a new university, a new city, a new apartment, new room, like just all those things. There's so much new. So I think really it's been fun to see him settle in and really start to make some plays in the practice environment over the last couple of days.
And then with a guy like Gio and Wesley, we're going to be talking to also, how do you balance the 4 games versus, okay, you're going to burn your reps type of deal?
That's a good question. Honestly, if they can help us win, they're going to play. And so to me, there's no balance there. The only way there's a balance is if you don't think they're good enough to help us win every week. If they're good enough to help us win every game, they're going to play.
Troy and then David.
Obviously, Gio, very talented player, but what stood out for you about his game when you finally got to see him play after going through the injuries in the spring?
Well, I think he's really smart, and so he's an incredibly good student here at the U of A already. And so he's someone, sometimes that's one of those things that is a hurdle for freshmen. It's just there's so much more volume, there's so much more inventory of plays and concepts, and the defenses are different, and there's more disguise, and so sometimes they struggle kind of learning all those things and putting them all together. But he's so diligent with his process that he keeps finding ways to, I feel like he's really improving, he's accelerating his process as we get, deeper and deeper into camp. And because he's doing that, he's playing better, and so he's getting more reps, and he's making the most of those reps. And so I think that's one of the cool things. We tell every player that, I tell every player that, if we give you 2 reps, those 2 reps need to say that you should get 4. Like, you need to prove it. Like, you want to be first team, then prove it. You're going to get a chance. Let's see what you got. And so far, Gio's done a nice job of taking advantage of the reps he's getting.
David and then Justin.
Coach, your defense has made a ton of plays in this first 9 days. What has excited you most about what you've seen from them?
I just love how hard they're playing. I think that's one of the things that Coach Gonzalez and the defensive staff and then have really been demanding of. And then I think the players are really leaning into it. Like, you see how they take the field, how they leave the field. You see how they're getting to the football. I think, when we talk about red line, I think they are really, really diving into it and really making that part of who they are. And so it's fun to see.
Just assess some of these struggles that the first team offense has had over this first week plus.
Well, I think that's day to day, you know what I mean? Or sometimes it even flips in practice like it did today. I think that's what happens when you're going against a good defense or when you're going against a good offense, because there's been days where the offense has made plays on the defense. So I think that part of it is, as you go through training camp, you never want it to be lopsided, because if it's too lopsided, then that means you either can't stop the offense or you can't move the football. You know what I mean? And so I think it's good. I think it's been really, really healthy, the competition in the practice environment so far.
Justin and Chris. Just between the medical staff and working with Coach Wade and just being here, how beneficial was the spring period for Gio in his development?
Well, I think it was important. I really believe in our training room. I believe in the doctors and the medical people that work with our team. They do a great job. But there's also a part of it that's on the player, right? Like, how serious is he going to be about attacking his rehab, attacking that process? Some guys get frustrated and, they kind of go through it that way. But Gio wasn't like that. He just, like, the moment he walked in the door, he was dead serious about how fast can I get healthy, and then how fast can I learn what we're doing. And so I think him being here was really beneficial for him.
Chris and Michael.
2 questions for you too, Coach. First, there's a couple of position battles that we've really been watching, particularly at corner and punter. Can you just talk about what you're seeing from the guys who are kind of engaged in those battles?
I think it's been fun to watch. I'm really excited about it. I think, watching, I think Michael Dansby's had a good week of practice. He's really shown up a lot. But it's a lot of fun, Aiden, J. Cole, Dansby, MGK, like that is a super competitive room. And I think because of it, like all of them are kind of elevating their game, which is fun to see. And then you have, the other members of the back end in that safety room. That's also a fun group. Obviously, there's some guys who have a lot of history and have made a lot of plays, but then you also see some young guys kind of showing up in the mix in there with Coleman, Patman, and Jack Luttrell. I know he played a bunch for us last year, but he's still a young player. So it's been fun to see those guys get in the mix and start to do some stuff.
And then for the home opener, T-Mac and Randy Robbins are going to be inducted into the Ring of Honor. In particular, you coaching T-Mac, this will be the first game at Arizona Stadium since he was a player and is already getting inducted. Just what it means for his former teammates to still be here, for you to be here, and for him to get that honor.
I think it's an incredible honor, and I think it's well-deserved. T-Mac has been just one of those guys that was always a great representative of the University of Arizona. We got to watch him play a little bit last night, which was fun. Made a couple catches in his first preseason game. But just anytime, him coming back here, being around, he was around some in the spring or, in the late spring and early summer. But just, he loves this place, and this place is special to him. And then I think when you look at the Ring of Honor, there's not a lot of wideouts in there. Right, there's not a lot of wide receivers on the Ring of Honor, so I think it's pretty special. It speaks to the caliber of player he is, and also speaks to the caliber of person he is. And then,
all right, that was the head coach of your Arizona Wildcats Saturday night after the scrimmage. That was Brent Brennan. We'll give you some more of his comments coming up a little bit later. Asked him though about what he's seeing from his defense, because again, that's been my theme through this fall camp, is that the first team defense has been very, very good, and wanted to find out what the coach is seeing. He likes the energy. I mean, that's one of the things that's standing out about this first-team defense is the energy that they bring to practice, running on and off the field between the first unit and the second unit, and that type of atmosphere that we're seeing from Danny Gonzalez and Joe Salave and company over there. And on the flip side, what have been some of the struggles of the offense? And he says, hey, it's been day to day. It's some days they're winning, some days they're losing. He's made it sound like he feels like it's been pretty even. I would maybe disagree with that a little bit. I think it's been maybe more like three quarters defense, 1 quarter offense. I'd like to see the offense win just a little bit more than they have. But again, it's been healthy competition. And I even we got the chance to talk to a couple of the wide receivers today, and I kind of asked them what they had identified some of the struggles of when they're out there. And Javon Watley said, hey, this defense is really good. This defense has been really good. So, again, what you hope is that this defense is a lot better than what they were initially on paper believed to be, and that'll carry over into the regular season. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Your thoughts on Arizona football, your questions on Arizona football. We'll also dive into everything else that happened over the weekend. The Mercury lost yesterday. Thought they were getting on a roll. Didn't necessarily translate into the game against Atlanta yesterday.
Atlanta's on a roll.
Yeah, they are. I think, 7 games in a row or some crazy number, 5 in a row, 7 out of 8 or something like that. Yeah, they're playing very, very well. I believe they're second best team in the league right now behind.
They
the
just
New York
passed
Liberty.
the Mercury with that win, so they're now like half a game, I think, or a game ahead of the Mercury with that win.
Absolutely. Cardinals, we'll hear from the Cardinals, Jonathan Gannon, Kyler Murray, as well on their performance in game one. First time since 2021 that Kyler Murray has played in a preseason game. We'll let you hear from T-Mac, his first preseason game in the NFL. Bijan Robinson is apparently, a lot of people believe he should be the number 1 pick in fantasy. He's Bijan Robinson. I mean, that's interesting. Normally a running back is not, it used to be back in the day you would take running backs number 1. I don't know so much more anymore, but.
As much as we all love Bijan, Saquon Barkley's in his prime still, right?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He is. Yeah, he is. I don't know. I think, Bijan might catch the ball.
And Derrick Henry might still be that guy. I mean, he showed he didn't fall off last year.
What I'm actually saying is that Bijan will be the I guarantee there's a year that Bijan is the number 1 fantasy points earner at some point in his career. Maybe not this year.
Yeah, no, it's still got to figure out what Michael Penix does for that offense in Atlanta before you can decide that for Bijan.
That's true. DK on the sports tip. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
from the Auto Nation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center. This is Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Collisions at a reported Grant Road east of I-10 and some slowing on westbound Grant Road approaching I-10. Ajo east of I-19, Ajo and 16th Avenue. Collision in Oro Valley at Oracle and McGee. Police activity, Linda Vista near Camino de Oeste. 105 tomorrow, 100 on Wednesday, and 105 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Straight Talk Wireless. Don't let data limits hold you back from being the gift master in the family group chat. Switch to Straight Talk Wireless and get real unlimited data on a reliable 5G network. Straight Talk, available at straighttalk.com or Walmart.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your motorcycle, RV, boat, ATV, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at progressive.com.
It's DK on the sports tip. Did you hear what we were talking about? People get upset about the weirdest stuff.
Oh, the casual goodbye.
Let the kid make the announcement when he wants to make the announcement.
Maybe when he's been busy.
He's busy. He's about to be a first-round pick. I'm sorry that he didn't write you a note saying that thank you, Arizona, love all the fans. DK on the sports tip, Monday through Fridays at 3, right here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
I get so many headaches every month.
It could be chronic migraine, 15 or more headache days a month, each lasting 4 hours or more.
Botox, onabotulinum toxin A, prevents headaches in adults with chronic migraine. It's not for those who have 14 or fewer headache days a month. Prescription Botox is injected by your doctor. Effects of Botox may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away, as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness can be signs of a life-threatening condition. Patients with these conditions before injection are at highest risk. Side effects may include allergic reactions, neck and injection site pain, fatigue, and headache. Allergic reactions can include rash, welts, asthma symptoms, and dizziness. Don't receive Botox if there's a skin infection. Tell your doctor your medical history, muscle or nerve conditions, including ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, myasthenia gravis, or Lambert-Eaton syndrome, and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects.
Why wait? Ask your doctor. Visit BotoxChronicMigraine.com or call 1-800-44-BOTOX to learn more.
Wow, this is bad.
Oh no. How bad? When will my AC be fixed?
I don't know. It's your flux capacitor. They don't make them anymore. Special order. Couple grand easy.
Oh my God, what?
Don't get air-conned into paying for shoddy service and stuff you don't need. Put Goodfellas on the job. Goodfellas AC will repair or install your AC the right way the first time. You'll know up front exactly what it'll cost and how long it'll take. No surprises and free second opinions. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems, like snoring, aches and pains, hot sleep, or even an old saggy mattress that can keep you up at night. And our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now get a king bed for a queen price, plus a free adjustable base with select Sealy mattresses. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address. Right now, you can free. That's right, Free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
This is Andrew Bogish with a Sports Minute. Both preseason college football polls are now out. They are usually pointless because who knows enough in August to correctly separate these teams, but they feel extra pointless this season. The top teams don't have a starting quarterback and or replacing 90% of their defense. We know nothing. It'll never happen, but the first top 25 should come out after a game or two. I'm Andrew Bogish.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind: to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my two sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-761-0000. That's 800-761-0000. 800-761-0000.
With Progressive, you can reach customer service in the way that's easiest for you, by phone, app, or online. We know it would be great if we just magically appeared, but that's more of a genie thing, and we do insurance. But with us, you'd be like, well, it wasn't a genie, but it was great customer service, so that's nice. And sure, you probably would still like the whole 3 wishes thing, so if you meet a genie, you should definitely ask. But when you need us, contact Progressive by phone, app, or online. Just no genies. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Gain a global perspective and specialized skills that many of today's top employers are seeking with an MBA from University of Maryland Global Campus. Study online and complete your degree in just 16 months for about $21K. Choose from MBA specializations in global business, marketing, HR, finance, and more. No application fee if you apply by September 3rd. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. Was out at Keno Veterans Memorial Stadium last night, Game 2 of the Pecos League Championship Series. Saguaros had lost on Saturday, their first loss of the postseason. Put them in a precarious spot because they now needed to win 2 to get their 4th title in this league since being born here in Tucson. They were able to get that first win of the 2 last night, coming from behind to knock off the San Rafael Pacifics by a score of 16-13. Actually, they were behind early for Zip. Then they took a 6-run lead. Then they gave up that 6-run lead, and then they got 4 in the 8th to win the ball game. 3 runs driven in last night by Anthony Manacero, and he joins us now. Anthony, appreciate you taking some time. How wacky of a game was that to play in last night?
Of course. Thank you for having me. It's just been one of those crazy games that we've had all season, and especially with it being the championship, everybody's extra motivated, extra hyper, I guess. And when you score so many runs like that and so many runs are being scored, it's just one of those crazy games. And you're usually able to pull it off in the end, and it all worked out.
I would imagine, when you've been in a league like this and you got a team that can score runs, an early 4-zip deficit is nothing to get too concerned with.
No, we just have that same mentality, just one pitch at a time, one at bat at a time. We've been down in the season before, and we've had comebacks like that, so it's nothing new to us.
Have you ever been on any level in a situation like this, one game to win a title, whether it was Little League title or high school state championship game? What's this day been like so far as you anticipate tonight at 7:00?
For me personally, in college when I was back in New York, we've had some conference tournament games where it was win or go home that we've had to prepare for. and some regional games too. So just trying to, I guess, stay in that same mindset as we were yesterday, where it's just one pitch at a time, not let the game get too big, and just go out there and play loose and have some fun.
Anthony Manassero is joining us. He is a slugger for the Tucson Saguaros. Drove in 3 runs last night. Played his college ball at Malloy University. Now, you mentioned New York. Now, is that on Staten Island?
That is in Long Island.
Long Island. I'm sorry, Long Island. So how did you end up all the way out here to play baseball?
The manager, Sean, he contacted me last year while I was still at Malloy in my school season. And unfortunately, I was unable to make it because of playoffs and our conference tournament. And this year, he reached out to me again, asked me if I wanted to come out and try out. And I said yes, tried out for the team, met Sean, made it, and ended up here just trying to chase the dream, play at a higher level than school. And it's all been working out so far, and I've loved every second of it.
Had you ever been to Arizona before you came out here to play baseball?
No, not before this.
Well, what are your impressions of our climate out here?
Not as many cactuses where I'm from. Not as much dry heat, dry lands. But I do love the golf.
Oh, there you
and
go.
I love the people, and I love my team. So it's been awesome so far.
You got a course you like out here?
Corey Pines is the one we've gone to the most, I think.
There you go. That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one
That's
for
a great
sure.
one.
We're joined by Anthony Manassero. He's an outfielder for the Tucson Saguaros. They're playing in a deciding Game 3 tonight for the Pecos League Championship with first pitch at 7 o'clock. Anthony, you mentioned growing up in New York. So a Yankees or Mets fan?
I'm a Yankees fan.
Okay, so who are your favorite guys growing up?
Growing up, Derek Jeter was my guy. Just the way he played the game, the way he went about his business on and off the field. He's a role model for anybody who grew up in my area.
Absolutely. Well, that's a great role model to have for sure. What have you liked about this team? We've had a chance to talk to several of the guys over the course of the last few weeks. We had Hal Perez on the show, as well as a couple of the pitchers as well. What's been fun about this unit here in Tucson?
The most fun part is how everybody is off the field. I think when we have that connection off the field and everybody's really close and everybody really comes together, it just makes it easy to play as a team on the field. And when we have as talented a roster as we do, it makes everyone else's job easier, because if you mess up on the field, the next guy in the lineup can pick you up. Or if a pitcher doesn't have a great outing, the next guy will pick them up. And it's just been like that all year. It's just a great group of guys on the field and even better guys off the field.
And you mentioned, obviously, that Sean McNeil had reached out to you last year. When he called you, what did he say he liked about you and why he felt you might be a fit?
He was familiar with my school, Malloy, and he looked up some videos, I guess, of me and some numbers. And he apparently invited some guys from my school also. So I guess I was one of the names that he saw, and he reached out and invited me. And I wasn't very familiar with the league at the time, but when this offseason came around, I started to research it, and it ended up working out. Very nicely.
Yeah, hitting .415 on the season. You've driven in 76 runs in 52 ball games. Shout out some of those guys that are getting on base for you to drive in those runs.
Oh, yeah, that's the whole team. That's everybody in the lineup. That's 1 through 9. We have a bunch of great guys, a bunch of great ball players, and like I said, they make my job easy. They get on base, and I can just put the ball in play, and they'll score for me.
All right, and you pitched you pitched one game this year?
Oh, no, I don't. I think that was a mistake in the on the stats.
Oh, so they misread somebody else's jersey.
Yes, but I'll take those numbers, because if I were to pitch, I wouldn't have done very well.
You wouldn't have had 2 strikeouts, huh?
Oh, no, definitely not.
So do you know who the starting pitcher for them is tonight? And have you guys faced them before? What do you know about that background?
I've heard that the starter we faced in Game 1 may be pitching for them tonight.
Wow.
And yes, if we face him, we're familiar with his stuff, with his pitches. And most of their bullpen guys we've seen so far in the last 2 games, because it's just been high-scoring, crazy situations. They've had to bring in a bunch of different guys. And their roster is very talented, so we just got to be ready for anything.
What was the key in the 8th inning last night for you guys to rally and get the victory?
It was just, I keep bringing it up, but we always say in the dugout, just one pitch at a time, one at bat at a time, work the counts, work the ABs, put the balls in play, and then we got a couple base hits, a couple lucky breaks with some walks, and it was very fulfilling when we got the hit by pitch by Hal to tie it, and then our third baseman and catcher Brian got the single up the middle, and that gave us some insurance going into the 9th. And then Trayshawn Pascal, he locked it down in the 9th inning. So it brought us to tonight, and I can't wait for that.
And how about the job in the 5th inning that Nate Narcarato did with the coming in bases loaded, 1 out, and getting out of that jam?
Yes, that was awesome. Came in, didn't give up a single run, got the first strikeout, and then a pop-up. He's just been another guy out of the bullpen that we can roll out there and just be confident that he's going to get the job done, just like everybody else we have.
There you go. Well, it is 7 o'clock tonight. Game 3, deciding Game 3, 1 game for a title. Saguaro's trying to bring home number 4 in the Pecos League. Hey, Anthony, best of luck out there tonight, and hopefully we're talking about a championship on the show tomorrow.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me, and hopefully, yes, sir, we'll try and get it done.
Anthony Manacero, outfielder for your Tucson Saguaros. Game 3 of the Pecos League Championship Series tonight out at Keno Veterans Memorial Stadium. Get out there and support this team. They are looking for their 4th championship. We'll talk more about that as we move along here on our show. Hour number 1 in the books, DK on the sports tip. Much more Arizona football coming up for you as well. Head on over to our Twitter account at Wildcats1290. We've got that play. We've talked about the catch by Trey Spivey. We've got that up for you there, so you get a chance to see what Trey did today. We'll hear from a couple of his teammates on that catch as well. Right now, though, Dragon Balls, he's making big catches too. Everything happening in sports here in Southern Arizona as well as around the world. High pointing it.
I made sure to look back for the ball this time around. I do have this ready for you. Cats camp continues with the intensity for the defense, with that side of the ball showing the high improvement compared to last year's camp around this time thus far. But Coach Brendan marveled at the unit's willingness to buy into their new red line mentality that they have during this year's camp.
I just love how hard they're playing. I think that's one of the things that Coach Gonzalez and the defensive staff and then have really been demanding of. And then I think the players are really leaning into it. Like, you see how they take the field, how they leave the field. You see how they're getting to the football. I think, when we talk about red line, I think they are really, really diving into it and really making that part of who they are. And so it's fun to see.
And just a reminder that single game tickets for the home opener still available for the Wildcats if you go to their website here and get yours to be part of that game on the 31st. Now, not a bad weekend for the Diamondbacks as they managed to come away with 3-game sweeps over the Rockies. Brandon Pfaadt led the way with a victory on Sunday's finale. Brandon Pfaadt got his 12th win on the year thanks to a franchise record 9 consecutive hits during a 5th inning, which also collected 8 runs and a blowout win over Colorado. But now Arizona has their eyes set on their next series against the Rangers to start a 7-game road trip as Ryan Nelson opens things up in Texas at 5:05 Arizona time. And despite the fact that the University of Texas was officially ranked as the number 1 team in the AP Top 25 in the preseason poll for the first time in program history, the jury's still out on the Longhorns as they will be opening up the season as an underdog in the season opener this year when they take on number 3 Ohio State out in Columbus. The Buckeyes are listed as a 2.5-point favorite against Texas, which is also one of the first times a top-ranked team has been a underdog dating back to 1978 when the data was first being collected. I'm Dragon Ball with your 2020 Sports Update on Wildcats Radio 1290.
It may only be summer, but Arizona football can't get here soon enough.
Lozano got a hole inside the 40, jumps to the left of the 30, down to the 25 to the 20, still going.
Catch Kendrick Risano and the Cats all season long right here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Collisions at a reported Grant Road near I-10, east of I-10 on Grant, Ajo Way east of I-19 at Ajo and 16th Avenue. Police activity, Linda Vista near Camino de Oeste, and some backups on westbound Linda Vista approaching Camino de Oeste. 105 tomorrow, 100 on Wednesday, and 104 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Rooter Ranger 24/7 Plumbing, Sewer, and Drains. For fast, affordable plumbing and emergency drain services, call Rooter Ranger and get out of plumbing danger. RooterRanger.com.
888-7-RANGER. Get you out of plumbing danger.
Don't miss out on any of the action as the University of Arizona takes on the Big 12 Conference.
But again, Caleb Love now taking over the game.
You're listening to the flagship home of Arizona Wildcats Athletics, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Stay connected while you're on the go with the Wildcats Radio 1290 app. Listen to Arizona Wildcats play-by-play. Get the latest news on your teams and more, all in one place. Download Wildcats Radio 1290 app from the App Store or Google Play today. Wildcats Radio 1290 app is sponsored by Goodfellas Home Solutions.
For quality, honesty, and service you can count on, call Goodfellas Home Solutions. Because when you need help around the house, we can fix it. Need a kitchen or bathroom makeover? Dealing with a clogged drain, leaky faucet, or sewer issue? We'll take care of it fast. We handle just about anything under your roof. Goodfellas Home Solutions. GoodfellasAC.com.
Back to UberTube expert Eugene Snurkle and his best friend Doug.
Eugene, is it true you can't fix your car's air conditioning so you're moving to Alaska or the North Pole or something?
Sorry, Doug. I meant to tell you, but I just can't seem to crack the code on fixing my car's AC.
Sorry to interrupt, Eugene, but we all know how this needs to end with a trip to Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Hi, folks. Sean Furrier here with some sizzling summer specials. Besides the chilly prices on AC repair and big tire rebates, we've also got Duramax 5-year free replacement batteries on sale this month with a $25 installation credit. That means free installation for most cars and trucks.
Seems a bit extreme.
Yes, Doug, an extremely tough battery built for Arizona, and you can be extremely confident in the Duramax 5-year free replacement guarantee. So for award-winning service, call or stop by one of our 14 area locations or make an appointment online. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, since 1960, here to get you there.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
It's time to talk Grizzly.
The air conditioner made specifically for Arizona summers.
Alaskan AC introduced the Grizzly a couple years ago, and the reviews are pouring in.
This one says, I love how quiet it is. I can hardly hear it come on, but I'm always comfortable.
Another person writes, finally an air conditioner that can withstand the desert heat and dust.
This one says, I like its fluffy fur and cute black nose.
Anyway, if it's time to upgrade your AC, you can't do better than the Grizzly.
Only available at Alaskan AC.
People love it.
Like this person who said, we live in an older home and the Grizzly keeps us comfortable in every room.
Or this guy. We live just outside of town and the dust is horrible. Glad we have an AC that can take it.
Or this one. He's so cuddly and has these adorable pads on his paws.
Gary, I think you're on a different webpage.
Gary, I think you're different.
Learn more about the Grizzly at AlaskanAC.com.
The garage is more than a place to park your car. It holds prized possessions, and for most, it's a bustling entryway to the home. That's why LiftMaster designed the first ever opener with a built-in wide-angle camera and two-way audio, so you can see what matters and secure what's inside. Ensure your family and prized possessions are secure with a reliable garage door opener that's built to last and powered by MyQ for smartphone control. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit KaiserGarage.com to learn more.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus Media station, your home for the National Football League, starting with the Hall of Fame game through the regular season into the playoffs and ending in the Super Bowl. Wildcats Radio, 1290.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Did we win any of our bets this weekend? Courtesy of our friends with BetMGM Network. Of course not.
3.29 ERA. How about a strikeout for Kershaw to start the series against the team that does that less than any other? He takes strike three. And Kershaw puts bookend K's on a 1-2-3 first.
Again, the 1-2. And he got him. Got him to Chase. And Max Scherzer.
2 outs, and it's up to Betts. Tying run at second. Betts hits the ball in the air to deep left field. Schneider's going back. It's gone. Mookie Betts connects on a go-ahead shot.
Well, now that game on Friday night, the battle of future Hall of Famers, Max Scherzer of the Blue Jays, former Tucson Padre, not Tucson Padre, former Tucson Sidewinder back in the day, coming up in the Diamondback system. Clayton Kershaw, Dodgers legend. I mean, they both were on their game. Kershaw, 6 innings, 1 run, 7 hits, struck out 4. Scherzer made just the one mistake there to Mookie Betts. 2 earned runs. He was pitching a shutout until that point. 2 earned runs, 6 hits, 6 innings. Unfortunately, the game got away from the Blue Jays bullpen, or I should say one of their relievers, Brendan Little, in the 7th inning, and the Dodgers got the 5-1 win on Friday night. So unfortunately for us, we had the Blue Jays on the money line Friday night, so that did not work out. We took a loss on that one. We also had the A's. Again, the A's, neither one of the A's or the Orioles are any good, but we had the A's, who are better than the Orioles, I would think, on the money line over the Orioles in the first 5 innings on Friday night. And, of course, after 5 innings, Baltimore was leading that one by a score of 3-1. We also had Sepp Straka in kind of our wild card bet to win the FedEx St. Jude down in Memphis, Tennessee. And although Sepp played well, Sepp played well. He finished tied for 17th at 7 under. Justin Rose in a playoff beating JJ, is it Strawn or Braun, who won the U.S. Open earlier this year? I believe it's JJ Braun. I can't remember exactly what his name is.
Sepp Straka also withdrew from the next
Spawn.
tournament.
Spawn. He withdrew?
Yeah, he withdrew from the BMW Championship apparently for a family matter off the course. So maybe he had something on his mind last weekend.
JJ Spawn is his name. Lost in a playoff to Justin Rose. They both finished a shot ahead of Scotty Scheffler, who tries to get into the mix at every tournament. They needed 3 playoff holes down in Memphis to finish that one after both gentlemen parred the 18th, birdied the 18th, and then Justin Rose birdied the 18th again to get the win over JJ Spawn. But a good tournament, as it always is, down in Memphis. So 3 more losses on our ledger puts us back deep in the hole. Now we are $87 in the hole right now, and 5-11 overall in this new 162 bet campaign. Let's see maybe if we can find a way to get a win tonight.
Debt Day here to help you beat the books with the BetMGM network. I'm taking the Brewers over 4.5 tonight against the Pirates. They are scorching Milwaukee as the hottest team in baseball. They're taking on Andrew Heaney, who for Pittsburgh is 5-9 with a 4.77 ERA, but on the road he's 1-6 with a 6.55 ERA. It's a hot offense versus a bad road pitcher. Give me the hot offense every time. I'm Denton Day from the BetMGM network. Bet smarter and beat the books. Download the BetMGM app today. Please gamble responsibly.
All right, so the Brewers, who, again, they are playing extremely good baseball. We talked about them a little bit on Friday because it led to our question of the day. We'll get to that here and wrap that up for you in a second or two as well. But the Brewers have the best first team to get to 70 wins this season. They added 3 more wins to that total over the weekend. They have won 9 straight games. Now that's the longest winning streak currently in Major League Baseball, the 9 straight wins, although the Mariners are trying to come close to that. The Mariners have won 7 in a row. But the Brewers over 4.5 runs tonight against your Pirates, Mr. David Amata.
I say that's an easy enough bet.
Yeah, you kind of buried the lead there.
That.
How about 17-4? 17-4
in their last 21 games
since the break.
Yeah.
They have 4 losses since the All-Star break, guys.
Pretty good they are. So we've got the Brewers over 4.5 runs right now at the Desert Diamond Casino Hotel at minus 143, and that will get us back $9.03 if the Brewers can kick a little pirate booty tonight. Let's hope so, because we need wins. We got to get some of our money back. We are literally now, between these last two seasons, over $300 in the hole. So we got to start winning. But that is your BetMGM Network top play for tonight. Brewers over 4.5 runs over the Pirates. All right, let's tell you what happened with your Diamondbacks this past weekend.
Diamondback download.
Baseball talk. It was a good weekend, to say the least. It better be a good weekend when you're playing the Colorado Rockies.
McCann squirts one through. ADC is home. Here comes Locklear. He will score. And Alex in at third. Marte down the line. That's in the corner. And here we go. Blaze is home. Corbin flying into third. Here he comes. He is in.
RBI double. 2 runs are in. 1-2, breaking ball, hit to deep left. Going back is back. It's off the base of the wall. It's a Pina party as the Diamondbacks walk it off 6-5.
25 runs for the Diamondbacks in their 3-game sweep of the Rockies. Remember a few weeks ago where they scored 7 runs in 7 games? They scored 25 runs in 3 games, playing a bad team. I mean, this Rockies team is really, really bad. Remember, they kind of started to play well there for a minute, right around, was it right before the All-Star break? Or
they
over
set the worst break? Ever 50-game start, right?
Yeah.
They set the record for the worst ever win-loss record at the 50-game mark. And then, right after that, they had a little bit of success. So people stopped talking after by the All-Star break. But if you look at their record now, they're right back, 30 and 87.
Yeah, now they're back to being pretty poor for sure. So good weekend for the Diamondbacks to get well a little bit. They were 7 games under 500, now back to 4, still 11 games out, but 3 wins in a row. Torey Lovello will definitely take that for sure.
I couldn't be more proud of the way the guys went out there and had a really good elite offensive approach. They were unpredictable. We had hits in all directions. We were toggling with our approach, and it was the 2-out RBIs. They showed a little bit of vulnerability there. They didn't make a play to close out an inning at first base, and then we took advantage of that. They're hungry. They want to start playing good baseball. We haven't played consistent baseball all year long. I think whatever the reason is, we win 3 in a row, we lose 2 in a row. We gotta string together a really nice streak.
Yeah, it'd be nice, but going down to Texas, not an easy place to win. But as you heard David Amata say at the top, a franchise record, 9 consecutive hits. 9 consecutive hits in scoring 8 runs.
You know what the record is?
In the 5th inning yesterday. 4 consecutive hits?
Yeah.
I do not know
11.
what the record is. 11.
They were right there.
Wow.
Yeah, the Rockies, the aforementioned Rockies
really?
In 2010, July 30th, 2010, they had 11 consecutive hits against the Cubs.
Home. I would think they were playing at home that day.
Coors Field, yes.
Yeah, I can't imagine that Rockies would get 11 straight hits anywhere else but Coors Field. I mean, you would think there might be a lot of records of that type involving Coors Field in Denver just because of the way that it plays. But wow, 11 consecutive hits.
Didn't they used to put the balls in like a humidor to keep them pressurized?
Right, yeah. Exactly. That was good memory there, J-Dub. That was back in the day that they did that. So Diamondbacks tonight will play game 1 of their series on the road against the Texas Rangers. It'll be Ryan Nelson at 6-3 against Nathan Eovaldi, who is 10-3 on the season with a 1.38 earned run average. So this is not going to be an easy game to win tonight. It starts at 5:05, so a little less than an hour. The Rangers are heavy favorites in this game at minus 165 right now over at the Desert Diamond Casino Hotel. You're over under 7.5 runs. You know they're expecting good pitching when you see a over under at 7.5 runs. All right. We are joined. Hey, everybody's here today. Yay, we got the 4-shot. 4-shot. Everybody's names are right. Everybody's cameras are working. Cricket is with us. Cricket, do you have any tattoos?
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay. So we do have. We were talking about we are probably the most untatted show that there is, because I don't have any tattoos, and Dragon Ball and J-Dub don't. But you have how many?
1, but it's 2. But I got it at the same time.
Okay. How long ago?
20, maybe 5-ish years ago.
Okay. And what made you want to do that?
My dad gave me $100 for Christmas, and when I told him I went to get a tattoo, he was like, "That's not what I had in mind." Like, sorry, Dad. Don't tell Mom.
So had you been waiting? Had been something you wanted to do? You just said, "Okay, now I have the money to do it, so I'm going to go do it."
I guess so. My sister also got $100 that same Christmas, and we both just went. And my dad was like, "That's not what I had in mind."
And she invested hers in a Roth IRA.
She did not. And
Roth RAI. What is it?
IRA.
I can't even speak right now.
I should have done
IRA
that
on my arm.
Yeah, I totally.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars with dollar signs.
Who would ever know? You know.
Exactly.
I should have invested. I should have done anything but a tattoo.
There you go.
You know.
And where is it?
It's like behind, kind of like my spine, upper.
Okay.
My sister got what do they call them? The lower back tattoos. I know that they they have not a very favorable, moniker or whatever. The lower back stamp. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right.
So,
I always like that, but okay.
She has a lot. My sister has a lot more tattoos than I do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. Well, so we have at least one person here that is tatted up. That is good to know for sure. How was the morning show?
The morning show? Oh, yes. I feel like that was so long ago.
It's been a minute, huh?
It's been a minute.
3 days.
It was fine.
3 days.
It was
3 days,
fine.
yeah.
I could totally get used to working one shift.
Yeah.
That was really cool. I was here for like five hours or so. I'm like, this is awesome. I get to go home.
What'd you do with your afternoon?
I napped. I lounged. I did nothing. It was like weird, and it felt like a vacation, even though I worked that morning. But it felt almost like a couple of days off.
Nice.
Thanks, Dragon Ball.
You got it.
There we go. See, you may have found your calling. You might just say, hey, I just want to do this one shift versus this split shift kind of lifestyle.
Gosh, that would be nice.
I can't believe you've done it for as long as you've done it. I mean,
it's been a long.
Oh my gosh,
it's been a minute.
Been
as Dragon Ball would say.
It has been a minute
for sure.
Yes.
All right, Cricket is getting you home. She's got tattoos, and she's getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
And from the Auto Nation, Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. 22nd Street near Wilmot, east of Wilmot on 22nd Street, crash there. Also, Colossal Cave Road south of Mary and Cleveland Way at Colossal Cave Road at the railroad crossing. Closed there for improvements until 5 tomorrow morning. You could use Houghton instead. 105 tomorrow. Woo, and a cool down by Wednesday, only 100 on Wednesday.
Man, all right.
That's going to be nice.
Ooh, get the jackets out.
97 on Thursday. A lot of cool off, yeah.
Ooh, sweaters.
Exactly. Going to need my hoodie. 103 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Rooter Ranger 24/7 Plumbing, Sewer, and Drains. For fast, affordable plumbing and emergency drain services, call Rooter Ranger and get out of plumbing danger. RooterRanger.com.
888-7-RANGER. Get you out of plumbing danger.
The jungle has moved afternoon, so grab your best Tucson tuxedo and join us on the Jim Rome Show weekdays from noon till 3 p.m. right here on the flagship home of your Arizona Wildcats, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive can help you protect your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, and RV, and more. And if something wasn't mentioned that you had in mind, find out if it can be covered at Progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE, because it probably can be.
So hot. Hi, can I help you? Good afternoon. We're with Goodfellas AC Rapid Response Team. But I didn't call yet.
That's how fast we are, man.
Just as I thought. This AC is out.
No, we're not gonna lose it. Come on. Come on. Don't you die on me.
Johnson, get a hold of yourself. Sorry, we take this very seriously.
Wow, you fellas are good.
It's not just a name, ma'am.
It's who we are kind of thing.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
Average doesn't grow your business. Smart Strategy does. Cumulus digital campaigns outperform industry benchmarks by over 25%. You're not average, and your results shouldn't be either. Visit cumulusdigital.com today to leave average behind.
Quick, she's over here. I don't know. I just found her like this.
Yeah, she's banged up, but she'll be fine.
Oh, thank God. What can I do?
Just need the keys. And, sir?
Yeah?
Your car's gonna be fine.
Thank you.
Mobile detailing from Recon Auto Detailing. Tired of wear and tear on your vehicle or just tired of cleaning it yourself? We'll come to you. Book with us online and see why we have over 1,100 five-star reviews. Recon Auto Detailing. ReconDetail.com.
With Progressive, you can reach customer service in the way that's easiest for you, by phone, app, or online. We know it would be great if we just magically appeared, but that's more of a genie thing, and we do insurance. But with us, you'd be like, well, it wasn't a genie, but it was great customer service, so that's nice. And sure, you probably would still like the whole 3 wishes thing, so if you meet a genie, you should definitely ask. But when you need us, contact Progressive by phone, app, or online. Just no genies. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Gain a global perspective and specialized skills that many of today's top employers are seeking with an MBA from University of Maryland Global Campus. Study online and complete your degree in just 16 months for about $21K. Choose from MBA specializations in global business, marketing, HR, finance, and more. No application fee if you apply by September 3rd. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
There's never a good time for plumbing issues.
No.
Honey, my parents are here.
Oh, man.
Don't worry. With Drain Masters in Tucson, not only do you get local, professional, full-service plumbing with 24/7 scheduled or emergency service, you get a lifetime transferable warranty on all house water repiping. So this...
They brought my aunts and uncles, too.
...is gonna be fine. Drain Masters, we do it all. And now offering financing. Solid service, fair price, guaranteed. DrainMastersTucson.com.
Hey, it's David Kelly, DK on the Sports Tip. Don't forget to download the Wildcats Radio 1290 app. It slaps. We've got full coverage of the Wildcats, the Suns, the Cardinals, the Diamondbacks, Pima College. Download the Wildcats Radio 1290 app today.
Lowe's knows when you're looking for reliability, the right brand makes all the difference. And now, Lowe's is the exclusive home improvement retailer for the Whirlpool water treatment line, including their Wi-Fi softener, under-sink filtration system, and more. With Whirlpool's proven performance and our everyday low prices, better tasting, better quality water is within reach. Shop pro-trusted brands like Whirlpool and more, in-store or online. Lowe's, we help, you save.
Eat up, buddy. It's almost time for school.
You take charge of your home. You take charge of your work. Don't forget to take charge of your gut health too with Nature Made probiotics. Nature Made has clinically studied probiotics that work with your digestive tract's natural bacteria, so you won't miss a beat in your daily routine. Find us in the vitamin aisle. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Hi, I'm Mike Ham with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. Week 1 of the preseason, it wrapped up with 2 games. Dolphins and Bears played to a 24-24 tie. Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa played 1 series, completing 5 of 6 passes for 27 yards. Caleb Williams, he did not suit up for the Bears. We did see rookie wide receiver Luther Burden, 2 catches for 29 yards. Meanwhile, Spencer Rattler started for the Saints, went 7 of 11 for 53 yards, but he was sacked 3 times and lost a fumble. Rookie second-round pick Tyler Shutt tossed a 54-yard touchdown pass. He also threw a pick 6. He finished 15 for 22 for $165, while Justin Herbert did not suit up for the Chargers. Some other news for you. Colts head coach Shane Steichen said quarterback Daniel Jones will start and play a couple of the series next week against the Packers. Anthony Richardson will play the rest of the first half. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-761-0000. That's 800-761-0000.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290 is the number. Give us a call. Give us a text. Trey Spivey. Ernest Lee Spivey III made one heck of a catch today in practice, going over the top of Jono Price, cornerback Jono Price, to haul in a pass from Braden Locke in the, I call it reverse red zone, when you're backed up against your goal line and are trying to get the ball out. And Braden Locke hit him on a fly route down the sideline, and he went up over Jono Price and made a spectacular catch. He high-pointed a ball on Saturday as well, so he's done it now in back-to-back practices. Afterward, we had a chance to chat with Luke Wysong and Javen Watley. You'll hear from Javen first on that spectacular catch by Trey Spivey.
That was like one of the best catches I've seen. It was like we was playing basketball on a football field. I was excited.
Yeah, but that was a heck of a catch. But yeah, I think that Trey brings a lot to our room. Trey's a very confident kid. He's up here all the time watching film extra, doing the little extra stuff that Coach Brennan's always talking about. So being able to have a kid like that is a true student of the game, but also has his size, ball tracking skills. He's a huge piece of our room.
And that's the thing. I mean, again, Trey is a guy that gives you some length in terms of height. We've got an interesting mix of receivers here, short and tall, with this team right now. He's one of those guys that's on the tall side, along with, say, like a Rex Haynes and a Chris Hunter, who's been a little bit banged up here early in training camp. But he's also, again, he's got to catch the ball. He had a drop on Saturday in the 7-on-7. And so you got to make sure you secure it. But he has, again, in some of those traffic situations, we've seen him go up and be able to haul in some pretty nice passes as Trey Spivey. So good to see that continue for Ernest Lee Spivey, the third. I'll tell you the whole story of why I use his full name, because I have a past with his dad, Junior Spivey, who was on one of my baseball teams when I was calling games in the minor leagues, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that later. Let's continue to hear from the head coach of your Arizona Wildcats, Brent Brennan, who spoke after the workout on Saturday night. One of the things he talked about was the footwork that Noah Fafita who's been working on with new offensive coordinator Seth Dagey, and how they've tried to bring Noah along in that respect. Here's head coach Brent Brennan.
Well, if you watch in practice, Coach Dagey is coaching them all the time, right? So even when you're in special teams period, Coach Dagey has them off on some other part of the field working on something technical for quarterback play. And I think the fact that he has such a healthy relationship with not just Noah, with all of those quarterbacks, also makes those guys want to dive into that technical work that they believe is going to make them a better player. And so I think that, that player-coach relationship is really powerful and really important. And the more trust there is there, the more development and the more gains I think players make. And so I think, you're seeing Noah play with a lot of confidence. And the truth is that, most quarterbacks, it doesn't matter what your stature is, don't see the ball completed. They don't. They're on their back most of the time. You know what I mean? So the fact that Noah's finding those throwing lanes, and he's always been really unique at anticipation and playing with confidence and finding throwing lanes. But I think what we're doing schematically fits him really well. His ability to get the ball out of his hand quickly and make good decisions and fast decisions is really good. And and then you see him playing with that confidence and stepping up in the pocket and still delivering accurate throws. It's exciting.
Troy and then Jason Barr.
I know it's kind of early, but in terms of the receiving core, you guys brought in a lot of talent. Is there a set number that you're looking for in terms of guys you want to play a rotation for the season? Is there a set?
There's not. And honestly, that kind of gets settled over the course of a game. You know, back when that was my world, I had games where I played, where I rolled 9 guys, and I had games where I rolled 4. It just depends on what kind of effort and production you're getting out of whoever you have out there. And so, but it has been fun to watch because a lot of those guys have made a lot of plays over the course of this training camp so far. And I'm excited because we still have a lot of practice left. So there's still a lot of time for that thing for that competition to continue to get more intense and continue to increase. And I'm excited to see what it looks like when everyone is feeling that, knowing that we're getting closer and closer to game day.
Jason Barr and then David.
Hi, Coach. Okay, so we're bouncing around a few working titles for our Arizona football season preview special. Where did owning the night, or perhaps even the desert night, come from? And can you expand on that a little bit?
Where did it come from? Yeah, the Own the Night came from our marketing team because they're talking about we play all these home games, and I think there's been a little bit of a narrative out there that it is a negative when actually a night game in a packed Arizona stadium is as good of a college football environment as you can be in, and I think that's, and I get it because, sometimes, it ends up being a late night and you end up getting out of here later and all that, but you also get to be part of the greatest sport in America, college football. You get to experience live and in person and feel the band and the crowd and the stadium and the popcorn and the music and the game and just like the opponent fans and just everything that comes with that. And I really think it's sad that a lot of people, not necessarily here, just all over the country, are choosing to stay at home on their couch and watch the game when they're missing out of this incredible experience of actually being there in person to experience that. I think so.
Our last two will be David and Justin.
Coach, in terms of the offense, we've seen a lot of obviously intermixing of guys in all the groups, running backs and line and wide receivers, but for the most part, Noah and Brady have kind of stayed with their respective units, whatever the first team for that day or second team for that day is. Why is that, and how important or necessary is it for Brady to get any reps with the quote ones?
Yeah, that's a fair question, I would say. The truth is that Noah is our starter, and we're still in the infancy of a new scheme. And so, he needs as many reps with the guys he's going to be playing in the game as is possible. And, when there's certain pieces moving out of those groups, but it's not a wholesale line change. It's not 6 new wideouts, you know what I mean? There's still guys that are kind of currently at the front of the line going with Noah, and then also with B. Locke. The awesome part is that B. Locke has been playing well. He's done a fantastic job, you know what I mean? And as we go through camp and, some guys get nicked up and some of that stuff goes on, sometimes those things get a little thinner and it gets a little harder in some spots than the other, but I think B. Locke is handling great. And I think he's really a valuable member of this football team.
Last question, Justin.
For defensive backs like Swade Griffin, whose dad played for Dwayne Aquino, was there any worry about maybe following Dwayne to Texas? How did you guys handle that communication when Dwayne left?
I mean, I would think there's a worry for every player to leave every team in America every single day. There's no, you know what I mean? The way, especially because we were still carrying 2 transfer portals, you know what I mean? I think, but I also think that over time, Coach Viney developed a great relationship with Swade and his family. We all did. We spent a lot of time with them. And I think Swade really felt comfortable here. And I think he really is excited about going to school here and playing football here. And I think that's one of those things that's always complicated because, the way the musical chairs of college football right now, I don't think it's always great when guys are moving so much because the question you asked about Malachi Bailey earlier, right? There is a cost to starting over. And every time someone starts over, it's, like I mentioned the question earlier, right? It's a new city, it's a new apartment, it's new friends, it's a new team, it's a new scheme, it's a new coach, it's a new head coach, it's a new coordinator. There's so much new like that transition could be really complicated for a young person. And I think Swade's exactly where he should be, and I think he's going to be a great player for us.
And then Swade and Coleman and Wesley, it seems like the Texas recruits are really starting to show. What have you seen out of that group?
Yeah, they've been great. I think Swade's been dinged up a little bit, but he'll be back with us quickly, and it's been fun to see Coleman start to get some opportunities because he's making the most of them, I think. And then Wesley also did, you guys were out there for the scrimmage the other night, did a great job running the football. And so it's kind of fun to see, anytime a freshman is like, gets an opportunity and takes advantage of it, that's exciting because you're like, yeah, that's why we recruited him. That's what we saw, That being said, we all know that like no freshman is anywhere near what that thing's going to look like in 2, 3, 4 years, right? Like there's not even close. But I think, if we recruit the right guys, kind of along the lines of what we talked about, when I met with you guys when we started training camp, do they love football? Do they want to be here? And are they tough? And if we do a good job of evaluating those things and bringing in players that can answer yes to those questions, we're going to like what we look like on the field.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, bear down.
All right, that's the head coach of the Arizona Wildcats, Brent Brennan, after Saturday's practice. Very interesting statement there in terms of when he was asked about the guys that were recruited by Dwayne Aquina, maybe leaving and following him to Texas. And he's like, every coach in America needs to be worried about somebody leaving every single day. That's kind of, if you've never heard a statement outlining where we are right now in college athletics, I think that is it.
And that's
there.
The most common scenario we've seen in the past 40 years, right? Like that's not new to the transfer portal or new to NIL. When a position coach and or a coordinator, right, is heavily involved in the recruiting of a player to come and then that person moves on somewhere else, we've seen that player decide to go with that coach because that's the person who sold them, right? Maybe not necessarily on the school, but on what that coach preaches and the style of play. So very common.
Very common indeed. And that's what you got to handle it. I mean, that was one of the things when, we talked about back in the spring when they decided to make the change and move Dwayne back to just being a position coach. How would that affect some of the guys that had been recruited? Deshaun Hinton was another one of those guys who, his dad was recruited to play here by Dwayne Aquina back in the day, and they have a strong connection with Dwayne. If that would change the way that some of these kids would want to feel about coming here with him being gone from the staff. But again, these young men have to make their own decisions and follow their own paths, and who knows? I mean, again, a kid comes in. That's the other thing. You never know nowadays. I mean, like people say, the comment now that I think is kind of weird is to hear, he's going to be really good in a few years. He's a freshman, especially because we had a chance to talk to a couple of the freshmen on Saturday night, and the young running back. Let me get his name here so I don't mess it up. Out of Texas, Wesley Yarbrough, and then the wide receiver, Gio Richardson. And, people saying, man, those guys are going to be good when they get some experience and get older. It's like, well, you don't know that they're even going to be here. Yeah, they might be good, but they might be good somewhere else.
It's weird to
in a few years.
It's weird to talk about sunk cost and sunk cost fallacy in this context because, that's a very common thing to talk about. But when you're thinking about coaching staff, CK, and how much time and effort they're going to put into developing a young player when that is on the horizon of that player then taking those skills they've learned and those reps they've gotten and blossoming with another program. I mean, I think on the basketball side of like a Henry Vasar, right? Like really is on the cusp of potentially being all league, all American, decides to go somewhere else after those 2-3 years. So that's a part of the thought process. It has to be for coaching staffs. You get a player who's, a legacy and super committed to Tucson, super committed to the program, might be treated slightly differently as an 18-year-old than somebody who's kind of like wishy-washy and maybe not necessarily someone you might see here long-term and is looking to get paid, right? If that might be their end goal, because that's the world we live in.
520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the Auto Nation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. With a collision at Ajo and 12th Avenue and Ajo Way. Also, just a reminder, Colossal Cave Road south of Mary and Cleveland Way. Colossal Cave Road at the railroad crossing closed until 5 tomorrow morning. You could use Houghton instead. 105 tomorrow, 100 Wednesday, and 104 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Audible. Audible's romance collection has something to satisfy every side of you. Fall for a brooding duke. Dive into a steamy romantasy series from Sarah J. Maas. Or find the perfect rom-com from Lily Chu. Start listening free when you sign up for a 30-day trial at audible.com.
It's DK on the sports tip. Did you hear what we were talking about? An American male has not won a Grand Slam tennis tournament in 22 years. One question I want to ask about this, though, I just wonder if the phenomenon that was Tiger Woods siphoned off a lot of American kids from playing tennis and had them picking up golf clubs instead. DK on the sports tip, Monday through Fridays at 3, right here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Wow, this is bad.
Oh no. How bad? When will my AC be fixed?
You know, I don't know. It's your flux capacitor. They don't make them anymore. Special order. Couple grand easy.
Oh my God, what?
Don't get air-conned into paying for shoddy service and stuff you don't need. Put Goodfellas on the job. Goodfellas AC will repair or install your AC the right way the first time. You'll know up front exactly what it'll cost and how long it'll take. No surprises and free second opinions. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas.
Ever wish you could get advice from your future self?
Psst. Hey, you, present self.
Huh? Who said that?
It's me. I mean you, from 40 years in the future.
Future me? Wow.
Look, there's no time. The most important thing you need to do right now is go to Tobacco Barn.
Tobacco Barn? Why?
We could have saved a fortune.
What are you talking about?
At Tobacco Barn, you save up to 40% on your favorite tobacco products. 40%! Do you know how much that adds up to over 40 years?
40%? Wow, that's a lot.
And get this, you pay no city or state sales tax. It's basically free money. Plus, there's a $3 coupon available at tobaccobarntucson.com.
A $3 coupon? No sales tax, 40% off. Why didn't you tell me sooner, future self?
By the way, when you meet a girl named Charlene, don't ask her to marry you.
I already did.
Oh, crud.
Don't wait for your future self to tell you. Save today at Tobacco Barn, Nogales Highway, 1 mile south of Valencia. Check tobaccobarntucson.com.
All right, she's inside. Are you good?
Yeah. It's just, she's my baby girl, you know?
I do, and ceramic coating was a good choice.
She's beautiful.
Yep, I know.
Recon Auto Detailing. Enhance or restore your baby to her former glory with paint recondition, ceramic coating, paint protection, tinting, and more for full protection of your vehicle inside and out. New cars, old cars, we love them all. Recon Auto Detailing, 3829 North Oracle Road, Tucson. ReconDetail.com.
Get your backyard summer ready with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you want to dive in this summer, now is the time to visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilder.com. Ask about our 60-day pool. To be summer ready, First Choice is the only choice.
Lowe's knows when you're looking for reliability, the right brand makes all the difference. And now, Lowe's is the exclusive home improvement retailer for the Whirlpool water treatment line, including their Wi-Fi softener, under-sink filtration system, and more. With Whirlpool's proven performance and our everyday low prices, better tasting, better quality water is within reach. Shop pro-trusted brands like Whirlpool and more, in-store or online. Lowe's, we help, you save.
Eat up, buddy. It's almost time for school.
You take charge of your home. You take charge of your work. Don't forget to take charge of your gut health too with Nature Made probiotics. Nature Made has clinically studied probiotics that work with your digestive tract's natural bacteria, so you won't miss a beat in your daily routine. Find us in the vitamin aisle. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
I'm Bill Ryder of the Sports Minute.
I don't know if Shedeur Sanders' performance in his preseason game for the Cleveland Browns says he's going to be a massive success or not. What I do know is watching him move the ball down the field, watching his 2 touchdown passes, watching Shedeur exhibit some of the excellence that made him a star in college has me rooting for the guy. I don't know if Shedeur Sanders can make it in the NFL, but I sure as hell hope he can. I'm Bill Rudd.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you didn't think skipping breakfast was a big deal, you'd be right. Before. But now, Wendy's has Buck Biscuits. We're talking sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit, bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, or even the Honey Buddy chicken biscuit for just $1 each. Seriously, you can get all 3 if you want. They're just $1, so you'll never skip breakfast again. If you're smart. Breakfast for $1? Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Limit 5 qualifying items per transaction. Not valid in the combo while supplies last.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Except for Kyler Murray's bad interception on Saturday night, I liked what I saw from the Cardinals' first-team offense.
And Murray off the boot, rolling left, and throws a pick right to the defender at the 10-yard line. Jaden Hicks picks it off. The Cardinals with 2 turnovers in 5.5 minutes.
This defense is ready for you. They're watching. They're not giving the worst looks. They're going to be there if you don't throw it to the right team.
Murray to throw on first down. Hicks trying to drive out near the 40. McMillan, one of the NFL's best tight ends, 192 catches the last 2 seasons. He just smooth. And Murray on the screen, dumping it off to Benson down to the 20. And close to a first down. He'll come up about a yard short at the 15-yard line to get 20 on a 2nd and 21.
Cardinals beat the Kansas City Chiefs 20-17. First-team offense again. They turned the ball over on the opening kickoff, a fumble that allowed for a short field, and the Chiefs were able to get a touchdown on a pass by Patrick Mahomes to Jason Brownlee. And then the offense went to work after that, except for, like we mentioned, the not so good interception for Kyler Murray, but that was the only non-completion he had. 7 of 8, 96 yards. And 7 of 8 for 96 yards. And the other thing was just they had a 3rd and 1 when they had a chance inside the red zone, and they couldn't convert that, and they had to settle for 3 points in that instance in the second quarter when they scored 17 points. Then the second team came in and was able to get a couple of touchdowns. But short yardage is so important. And I mentioned it at the top of the show as it related to the Arizona Wildcats and how today they really worked on inside run drills. And I mean, I'll be honest with you, I believe that there's been a lot of, and I've said it, I believe there's been a lot of frustration for this Arizona Wildcats first-team offense. And if you'd seen the reaction, like literally, I wish you'd been there to see the reaction from the offensive line when they converted a 3rd and 2 in the inside run drill. I mean, those guys felt like they had finally accomplished something in this fall camp when they were able to get that first down on an inside run by Ismail Mahdi, who's been running the ball very well, to say the least, in training camp. Another standout. If again the running game in terms of the Arizona Wildcats is fine, but short yardage. To get back to short yardage, I don't want to diatribe into Arizona Wildcats when I'm trying to talk about the Arizona Cardinals, but short yardage is so important, and the Cardinals maybe left some points on the field when they could not convert that 3rd and 1 and had to settle for the field goal. But overall, I thought really good assessment, really good performance by the first-team offense, good performance by the first-team defense. after they were given a short field there and gave up the touchdown. Not so much after that by the first team defense. Let's hear from the head coach, Jonathan Gannon, on a pretty good first game, and the promise also of Isaiah Adams for this ball club. Isaiah Adams is, again, another one of those young players who is got an opportunity to potentially shine with this Cardinals team. Let's hear from the head coach on all of that.
Well, I would say I was very pleased with the entire O-line's mode of play. They know that's what I want and what I believe in. But where Isaiah has made the biggest jump to me is his technique. And then you pair that with the skill set that he has, how big and long and strong he is. When he plays with proper technique and gets to his technique before the D-line, he can win a lot of reps. And I think in doing that in OTs and then training camp, his confidence has grown, because he's kind of the proof's in the pudding. Like, when you do it like this, look what happens, And he's got a lot to work on, just like everybody. But he's playing well.
Isaiah Adams, taken in the third round of last year's draft, started 5 games last year, played in all 15 as a rotational backup, but did get 5 starts, and a guy that's going to be expected to be a mainstay on that offensive line for the Birds as they move forward. Kyler Murray's thoughts on the offense, his first time out and his first time playing in an exhibition game in 4 years.
I just think we execute well. Obviously preseason we're keeping it pretty simple, pretty vanilla. So you're going out there and you're just executing your day one stuff. I know they're not dialing up crazy stuff either, but you go out there and just try to play good football and execute, and I think we did that for the most part.
He hit some good throws. Trey McBride, you heard in the highlight there, hit him for a 21-yard strike, made a nice crossing pass to Marvin Harrison, which he threw into a tight window. So there were some really good, outside of the one bad interception, there were some really good balls that Kyler threw there. And again, Trey Benson, who was the guy that they tried to get the 3rd and 1 with, but came up a little short. He finished with 9 carries for 29 yards, going to be playing mostly behind James Conner, but a young running back who's got a lot of potential, Kyler Murray believes.
I think this will be a big, big breakout year for Trey. I say the same thing with Marv. I think it's just confidence and then reps, letting the game slow down for him. And just continue to play more football. The more football he's going to play, the better he's going to be.
And then the defensive line, a lot of changes there. Guys brought in. Calais Campbell obviously didn't go. Veteran, not going to play in the first preseason game. Josh Sweat, also a guy that was brought in. We did mention top of the show, get to see a little bit of Keon Bars playing on that defensive line, the Arizona Wildcat in that contest. And Keon had a solo tackle, real nice solo tackle where he shed his block and got to the ball carrier right there at the line of scrimmage. Jonathan Gannon knows that his defensive line is improved, but still doesn't believe they are where they will eventually be.
In the game, I thought we affected the quarterback pretty well. I think in training camp, it's a lot of good on good because our O-line's doing a good job. So as long as we just keep working our technique, throwing our fastballs, then a little bit of changeup, all those guys rushing together, how they fit in, what they need to do. I think that the steps that we made have been in the right direction, but we're not there yet. I would say that.
There you go. Not there just yet, but plenty of time to get there for sure. Preseason game number 2 will be in Denver, and that'll be coming up on Saturday night at 6:30 against the Broncos, who also opened up their preseason with a win. 6:30, that game will be on NFL Network, so it'll be a nationally televised game coming up this week. That is, do we have our little sounder, our Cardinals sounder there? We'll play it.
Arizona Cardinals training camp is on, and the season is right around the corner. The best coverage of your Arizona Cardinals starts now.
All right. Thoughts on the Cardinals? Did you get a chance? Did either of you guys get a chance to see any of that over the weekend?
Do we need to cut an ends now for that sounder? Or? With regards to the Cardinals, the main thing is that I took away from it was that Jacoby Brissett is the backup quarterback with this team. I know Clayton Tune has a little bit of history with this offense, but Brissett seems to very clearly have an understanding about what exactly this squad wants him to do from that position. I think Jacoby is going to be your guy backing up Kyler Murray, which, to be fair, you want to have a veteran guy behind him in that regard. And for the running game, it was really nice to see a couple of big runs there, but majority of it, you need to work on the short yardage. The short yardage absolutely needs to be something worked on for the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, that run by Amari DiMarcado to get that touchdown. I mean, that was a very solid piece of running in that contest right there for Amari. Actually, it was more of a swing pass that got him going for that 43-yard touchdown, but most of it was run after the catch. And so good to see from Amari DiMarcado, who finished with 2 catches for 56 yards, including that touchdown. Bam Knight led the team on the ground, 6 carries for 51 yards, and he had a good 27-yard run as well.
You think you name your kid Bam, hoping that he becomes a running back?
Oh, you almost want to
something
hope
like
that
that,
he becomes a football player.
Something like
Either that or a really, really impressive wrestler. One of the two.
I could see it.
DK on the sports tip. Hour number 2 is in the books. Coming up in hour number 3, we'll talk more Arizona Wildcats football. We'll talk some more NFL football. We'll let you hear from Tetairoa McMillan. T-Mac, don't call him Tet. Broadcaster from Cleveland was calling him Tet on the broadcast the other night. Come on now, Mom told you not to. And then people are upset now because now they're claiming that Tetairoa's mom is a helicopter mom because she corrected you on the correct nicknames for her son. I mean, come on, get with the program here, people. It's not Tet. I cringe every time I hear that. We'll hear from T-Mac coming up, as well as Bijan Robinson.
People out there listening, if a mother corrects a reporter on how their son's name is, it's not helicoptering at all. That's just common decency. This is how we pronounce it. Please pronounce it that way.
I needed to be told one time that I had pronounced Mr. Honey's son's name incorrectly at a Marana football game once. I called him Honea, and it's like, hey, no, you got to call him Honey.
Well, we've done that like 10 times in the last 2 years, right? Because a lot of times you don't get the correct pronunciation, and a lot of kids come in, especially freshmen, and so that happens quite often, but you don't go out of your way to mispronounce it intentionally.
Yeah.
Mispronouncing it because you're not sure of how it's pronounced, that's fine. My bad. Let me not say Tet from now on. But if it's already been established, please don't call him Tet.
Very
clear. And the other day, last week, I mispronounced in a press conference. I mispronounced Kedrick Risino's first name. I called him Kedrick. And he made a point the next day at practice. He made a point of coming up and saying, "Hey, brother,
well, wasn't it Riscano for the first 2 games?"
And then I was like, "I got the last name right, which is the hardest one, and I messed up the first name." So he was cool. He was like, came over and he said, "Hey, brother, don't forget Kedrick, not." And I said, "Yep, you're right. I called you Kedrick in the press conference the other day." So and I like that because I mean, so many times, and again, so many times. Kids won't step up and tell you if you are mispronouncing their names, and it's important that you get people's names right. And so I like the fact that he was confident enough that he was able to make sure that the correct pronunciation was known. So good on Kedrick Risino. We won't mess that up anymore moving forward, especially if he's going to be the starting running back. We got to make sure we have his name right. DK on the sports tip. Dragon Ball is here telling you everything happening in sports here in Southern Arizona and around the world.
Well, you heard us talk about the Saguaros baseball game that's coming up here in Tucson. Another championship game that will be here on Saturday, August the 23rd. The indoor football championship game will be played at the TCC. And that, again, you're going to want to go and pay attention here, Wildcats fans, because August 23rd, a former son of the Arizona Wildcats will be looking to try and win a championship as Nighthawks quarterback Jaden DeLaura will be one of the quarterbacks playing in that game. Again, the Vegas Nighthawks taking on the Green Bay Blizzard for the IFL championship. Do go ahead and bring your Arizona jerseys out to support Jaden DeLaura and the Nighthawks in that game, again, at the Tucson Convention Center, August 23rd. The Arizona Cardinals had a pretty mixed bag in their first preseason contest. They came away with the win, but the offense saw a few drives down the field, turnovers being the main story of this contest. Kickoff was fumbled off in the first kickoff for the Cardinals, as well as their first offensive drive ending in an interception. Despite all that, though, Kyler Murray not only saw some promise with the first team unit, but seemed to enjoy himself getting some run in the preseason for the first time in a while.
Go out there, execute, get a feel for the game. You got to get into a flow, things like that. I think we did that. Obviously, you throw an interception, and again, I think that's something that you can't replicate in practice. Moving around at the speed that you're moving at, going left to right, lateral, having guys move and bodies moving, and yeah, I had fun. Had a lot of fun out there.
Now, the Cardinals will look to reevaluate and prepare for their next contest, including some joint practices with their next opponent in the Denver Broncos during this upcoming week. And with all those teams doing joint practices, teams have to be out there in location early, and one player seems to already got in trouble in the new location for the next game. Browns star edge rusher Myles Garrett was cited at 2:01 on Saturday morning, going 100 miles per hour in a 60-mile-per-hour zone after the team landed in Charlotte. Now, the team is saying they're aware of the situation, and reminder that Garrett was in a car accident back in 2022 when he crashed his Porsche and had to miss a game during that situation.
What is it with these Browns wanting to drive fast? If it's not Shador, it's this guy. I mean, come on.
Motor Speedways.
Yeah, exactly. It's slow down.
And that's your 2020 Sports Update from Wildcats Radio 1290.
Nobody covers your Cats like we do.
Touchdown, Arizona.
With press conferences, coaches shows, and play-by-play, we bring you all the stories, highlights, and analysis of your Arizona Wildcats. We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the Auto Nation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Collisions reported Greasewood near Anklam, south of Anklam on Greasewood, also Ajo and 12th Avenue and Ajo Way. Stalled bus eastbound Fort Lowell at Campbell, a stay left advisory to get by. 105 tomorrow, 100 on Wednesday, and 104 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Rooter Ranger 24/7 Plumbing, Sewer, and Drains. For fast, affordable plumbing and emergency drain services, call Rooter Ranger and get out of plumbing danger. RooterRanger.com.
888-7-RANGER. Get you out of plumbing danger.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up with science.
You mean they don't use yesterday's newspaper?
No. They use the latest in technology and innovation to eliminate bugs, bees, termites, weeds, and more.
So no as seen on TV salt guns?
Nope. Only solutions that target insect biology, using chemistry to help protect the environment, people, and their pets.
You are so smart.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up. Call 886-3029 or visit essentialpest.com.
Consistently beating industry benchmarks by over 25% isn't a fluke. It's Cumulus Digital. Smarter marketing with proof. We show you exactly who saw your ad. That kind of precision is why more than 4,000 businesses partner with us every month, whether they need one product or a full digital strategy. Visit cumulusdigital.com today because you're not average, and your marketing results shouldn't be either. That's cumulusdigital.com.
Noah Fafita has a new weapon this season.
It is caught. What a spectacular catch for Luke Weissong. My goodness. Oh, my word.
I'm not the tallest, being tough. My dad taught me that.
Catch Luke Weissong of the Cats all season long on Wildcats Radio 1290.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
The monsoon season is here, and Pixrock's Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing wants you to beat the heat and keep cool all summer long. Now through the end of August, we are offering a $49 diagnostic special. Our highly trained AC technicians are ready to battle the intense summer heat so you don't have to. Call us at 520-492-0748 or PictureRocksCooling.com.
Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Back to UberTube expert Eugene Snurkle and his best friend Doug.
Eugene, is it true you can't fix your car's air conditioning so you're moving to Alaska or the North Pole or something?
Sorry, Doug. I meant to tell you, but I just can't seem to crack the code on fixing my car's AC.
Sorry to interrupt, Eugene, but we all know how this needs to end with a trip to Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Hi folks, Sean Furrier here with some sizzling summer specials. Besides the chilly prices on AC repair and big tire rebates, we've also got Duramax 5-year free replacement batteries on sale this month with a $25 installation credit. That means free installation for most cars and trucks.
Seems a bit extreme.
Yes, Doug, an extremely tough battery built for Arizona, and you can be extremely confident in the Duramax 5-year free replacement guarantee. So for award-winning service, call or stop by one of our 14 area locations or make an appointment online. Jack for your tire and auto care. Since 1960, here to get you there.
Progressive Commercial Insurance flexes to fit your business's needs. From quick repairs to adjustable coverages and even payment options, Progressive Commercial makes it easy to get what you need. Quote today in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Arizona's free safety position has a new name, the Bear.
A little ferocious name.
But it's going to be intercepted by Arizona. Genesis Smith.
Bear down with Genesis Smith and the Cats all season long. Right here on Wildcats Radio, 1290.
Honey, our yard looks like a jungle. It's full of weeds, and the neighbors are complaining, you know.
I know. I'm trying to get rid of them, but the product I'm using just doesn't work. Not to mention, I don't have the time.
You know, it's not just the weeds. I'm also seeing ants and a spider, a scorpion. I saw a scorpion, and I think there's a pack rat living in the garage.
I get it.
It's scary.
I'll call University Termite and Pest Control today and get rid of them all.
You're the best, honey.
University Termite and Pest Control, locally owned. Find them online at bepestfree.com.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. No one is talking Roadrunners, Sugar Skulls, and FC Tucson like us. We are Southern Arizona's #1 sports station. Wildcats Radio 1290.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Tetairoa, T-Mac, McMillan had a big catch in his first exhibition game in the National Football League.
Browns showing blitz. They bring it. Young throws a jump ball for T-Mac. And he makes the catch.
10,000 passes. Talk about the quick catch.
Great job. Looking for McMillan. His second catch and first down catch. Young looking for McMillan. He was open off his hand.
There you go. Tetairoa McMillan right out of the gate on the touchdown drive for the Carolina Panthers, making a nice over-the-shoulder catch on a perfectly placed ball to him and finished the ball game from 2 catches, 43 yards, had the 30-yard, was targeted 5 times in the ball game. Bryce Young, the quarterback that threw that pass to Tetairoa McMillan, as the ones played, the first teamers played for the Carolina Panthers in that contest. Let's hear from T-Mac after the ball game on building that chemistry with starting quarterback Bryce Young.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. I mean, I feel like in practice we kind of build the same, chemistry, but obviously going against a different opponent, like I said earlier, is obviously good to just see different things, different looks, go against different people.
And in terms of that catch for Tetairoa McMillan?
Man, just go make the next play. Just finish drives, really. I feel like that's my main mindset. Obviously we have big explosives and big plays, but, it don't mean nothing if we don't put points on the scoreboard at the end of the drive.
Isn't that kind of like asking Steph Curry how it feels to make a 30-footer?
Right.
Like, for the average person, it feels amazing, but T-Mac high points balls in traffic. That's what he does.
Yeah, absolutely. And we didn't really mention this last week, but it did come out that Tetairoa McMillan is going to be honored at Arizona Stadium this year. He is going to go into the Ring of Honor alongside veteran, longtime Wildcat Randy Robbins. So a couple of different generations of Arizona football that will be honored. And it's very interesting because it kind of goes back to what we're also seeing on the basketball side as well. And Caleb Love is going into the basketball Ring of Honor. We're seeing a lot of these decisions made very early on or very almost immediately, whether you like that or not. I'm personally maybe one of those people that, let it ferment for a few years before we pass out these awards to guys, I mean, putting a guy up there right away maybe is not necessarily the way that I would do it, especially coming from a football family where, at least, we know there are a lot of first ballot Hall of Famers who could have gotten in a year after they got in, but there's a process. You got to wait your 5 years. And then when your name comes up, they vote on you. And if you're that good, you get in. But nowadays, it seems like we're giving these honors out right away. And I guess with the Tetairoa McMillan, I get it from a certain standpoint. All his boys are still here, and Noah's still here. And it'll be more fun for this to take place under the coaching staff he finished with here as well versus, say, maybe in 5 years or, when potentially all those people might be gone.
I think it might have something to do with the next generation, right? Because, 30 years ago when you would see guys wait, there would be time that would pass, like a good 5 or 10 years would pass before people got inducted into the Ring of Honor. More recently, these last 3 or 4 years, you're seeing players within 24 months, 12 months of leaving campus get up there. What do you think, DK, about the potential that has something to do with the next 17-year-old or 16-year-old or potential future T-Max, showing them in this era of 24-hour coverage and everybody's getting all the information instantaneously? Recruits want to know that they're wanted, right? And their idea where if you come to a place and you accomplish, you become the all-time reception yards leader in the history of that school. They recognize that instantaneously. I think there's some aspect of that has to do with recruiting as well as honoring those who've come before.
There's a lot of it that does with recruiting. I think another part of it is also you want to maintain the strong relationships with the alumni, because those alumni that have a lot of success and have high profiles going into the next level of sport, they're going to be somebody that you could potentially go to and say, hey, our program is struggling a little bit right now with our areas of practices, our facilities, and things of that nature. We're hoping maybe you could go ahead and provide us with maybe something like a quick, just small deposit, one of those kinds of things to help us rebuild or refurbish these facilities that, meant so much to you, and you want them to mean something for the next generation. It's just something to keep in good graces with alumni, because we've seen a lot of universities that haven't had good relations with alumni that did a lot, the other schools that just haven't given the flowers to that last generation. Now we're seeing that people maybe want to try to do that more, especially now with the booster and NIL era. You're going to need a little bit more help to keep yourself in pace with those other schools trying to get those recruits.
And I think most schools just have a subjective reasoning as to why you're honored in a thing like the Ring of Honor. But Arizona, from the very day that they started this tradition, they put forward a very specific rule set of criteria needed in order to get honored, right?
Yeah.
And so that was the whole thing. I remember the longest one was for Jason Terry, because he was a player of the year, which is one of the requirements, but obviously the off-court stuff. So there's been some guys who have been dragged out and should have been put up in a long time. I know that there was I know Damon Stoudemire had some things to say when I think it was Zeke Najee and Josh Green, got put in, and TJ wasn't in, right? Like that whole thing. It was Ben Matherin and and Green. So, and TJ before TJ got put in. So the criteria, it's very cut and dry. I mean, I have it right here in front of me. It's very cut and dry. It's first team All-American, National Player of the Year, Conference Player of the Year, career leader in 3 or more positive statistical categories, 10-plus years major professional. That's why TJ just got in, right? That was he passed that criteria. Olympic medalist, or the individual has brought recognition and honor to the sports program. That's the only subjective one out of all of those.
I think I'm going to make that my question of the day today. Do you agree with Caleb Love and Tetairoa McMillan being given the Ring of Honor in their first seasons after they left school?
So Caleb's for Player of the Year, right? In PAC. That's why he qualified.
Yeah, both guys qualify.
I'm just wondering why.
About that.
Caleb was Player of the Year in the PAC in the final year of the PAC, and T-Mac was Offensive Player of the Year, something like that?
No, I think T-Mac is in because he holds a school record.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. Career record.
Career record. Correct. Do you agree with both of those players being put into the Ring of Honor immediately after leaving the University of Arizona. And again, I agree exactly with what you said, J-Dub. I think that is a this generation kind of thing. I mean, I'm old school. I'm
gratification, right?
I'm old school. And so I think that people should be made to wait a little bit for these honors, that they should not come right away. That's just me. I mean, again, that doesn't, if you've got the criteria, that's fine, but I don't know that we need to be putting guys in 2 minutes after they leave campus.
So we're not going to call this the David Kelly KCB 1290 Studios until some time has passed.
Right.
And, you're no longer working.
This is true.
Maybe even after you can wait till after I'm dead if you want. That's fine.
That's just it. You never want to do that because then that gets to be a point where it's like, well, but you could have done it while they were there to enjoy the honor. It's something similar to like let's go ahead and I'll bring it up with just the NFL Hall of Fame. Art Monk should have been in the Hall of Fame a long, long time ago. He was the all-time leading receiver in NFL history. He should not have been a person that had to wait 15-plus years for a senior delegation to put him in the Hall. He was a guy that should have absolutely been probably a first-ballot Hall of Famer, but no one wanted to be like, he's a receiver. He'll get in eventually. We're focusing on these other guys. When you do that mindset of, he'll eventually get in, but we're just not going to do it right now. It's the same mindset of that guy who didn't vote Ichiro. He's going to get in anyway. I'm just not going to vote him in so he's not 100%. No, you need to do the forward-thinking duty of putting somebody in when they deserve to be in as soon as they can to make sure they can appreciate the honor.
All right, so I'm going to put this up right now on our Twitter account at Wildcats1290. Do you agree with Caleb? Do you agree with Caleb Love and Tetairoa McMillan being inducted into U of A's basketball and football Ring of Honors immediately, as they both have just left this past year? That'll be our question of the day. I might let this go for a day or two since I got it up late in the show, but you can head on over here shortly, maybe within the next 5 minutes, to Twitter and start voting on that.
I think the problem with the NFL is that the top 4 or 5 guys who are not, who are qualified but aren't in are all wide receivers.
Yeah.
Right. Reggie Wayne, Torrey Holt, you got Hines Ward, Sterling Sharp, all these guys, right? So, yeah.
520-848-1290 is the number for you to get in on this program. Don't forget, if you want to, you can call us or you can text us on that subject matter right there as well in terms of the Ring of Honor and how quickly, how soon should guys be made to wait a little longer? Should it be kind of like an NFL Hall of Fame? Is Major League Baseball? Is there? I don't know what the wait is there. I know it's 5 years. I know it's 5 years for the NFL. I'm not sure off the top of my head what it is for Major League Baseball in terms of how long you have to wait before you are eligible.
Yeah,
5 years.
You have to be retired
5 years.
5 full seasons, but you have to have played at least 10 seasons in Major League Baseball
to even be on the ballot.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, I was just wondering more what the wait was in terms of when you're done playing. We're not who just retired in basebol. Who's the best player that just retired?
You have
last
to
year?
give me a minute because I have to double check that.
Yeah.
I thought for a minute, I thought Albert Pujols was retired.
Yeah,
apparently
so
he's
there
not.
You go. Oh no, is he coming back?
I don't know.
Is Albert coming back? Really? I had not heard that. Yeah, Albert. That's a good name though. We're not putting Albert Pujols is not going into Cooperstown this year or next year. He's going to have to wait.
Okay, no, he did retire in 2022.
About Joey Votto.
All right.
Joey Votto, yeah.
He might be. Is he Hall of Fame?
He's a border.
He
was MVP, wasn't he, or something right up there.
Yeah,
1 year.
I'd have to look at the numbers, but yeah, Joey Votto just off the top of my head.
Just retired last year. I'm just looking for guys who just retired who may be on the cusp.
Yeah, he could be, but he's not this year. He's going to have to wait a little while. All right, DK on the sports tip. Much more coming up for you straight ahead. We'll let you hear from Bijan Robinson. Year 3 for him as well. What is that going to look like for Bijan Robinson? He'll tell you straight ahead. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Linda Vista near Camino de Oeste, police activity in that area. Collisions that are reported Alvernon south of Glen, Greasewood south of Anklam, 105 tomorrow, 100 on Wednesday, and 103 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Guess what? Discover's accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. You heard right, 99%. If you don't think so, maybe it's time to face facts. You're stuck in the past. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report, learn more at discover.com/creditcard.
It's DK on the sports tip. Did you hear what we were talking about? The kids who actually have the money to go out there and play tennis. Why haven't we produced any of them? DK on the sports tip, Monday through Fridays at 3, right here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
The monsoon season is here, and Pixrock's Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing wants you to beat the heat and keep cool all summer long. Now through the end of August, we are offering a $49 diagnostic special. Our highly trained AC technicians are ready to battle the intense summer heat so you don't have to. Call us at 520-492-0748 or picturerockscooling.com.
Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating and Plumbing.
Lowe's knows when you're looking for reliability, the right brand makes all the difference. And now, Lowe's is the exclusive home improvement retailer for the Whirlpool water treatment line, including their Wi-Fi softener, under-sink filtration system, and more. With Whirlpool's proven performance and our everyday low prices, better tasting, better quality water is within reach. Shop pro-trusted brands like Whirlpool and more, in-store or online. Lowe's, we help, you save.
Eat up, buddy. It's almost time for school. You take charge of your home. You take charge of your work. Don't forget to take charge of your gut health too with Nature Made probiotics. Nature Made has clinically studied probiotics that work with your digestive tract's natural bacteria, so you won't miss a beat in your daily routine. Find us in the vitamin aisle. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with AutoPay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025, Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 in monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
We bring you all the news and stories of your Arizona Wildcats. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Wildcats Radio 1290 for the latest highlights and commentary. Your home for U of A athletics, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Westwood One presents today in women's sports. No Nafisa Collier, no problem for the Minnesota Lynx. The league's best team stretched its winning streak to 5 Sunday, beating the defending champion New York Liberty 83-71. It was their first meeting at the Barclays Center since New York won the decisive Game 5 of last fall's WNBA Finals. Minnesota is now a dominant 27-5 and 5-1 without Collier, who missed her 3rd straight game with an ankle injury. New York was also lacking a key player, Brianna Stewart, out since July 26th with a knee bone bruise. Lynx head coach Cheryl Reeve admires how her team's grit shows up even more without its best player on the floor.
This team doesn't break. You might beat us sometimes, but you're not breaking us. There's a belief in everything, and that collective is really strong. And so you're able to get through tough times, like not having the best player.
The Lynx and Liberty meet again next Saturday, the first of 2 straight matchups. With Today in Women's Sports, I'm Erica Herskowitz on Westwood One.
Did you know there are more ways than ever to save with Allstate? Like adding more cars to your policy means you could save more. Same with bundling home and auto. More savings. Oh, and staying safe on the road? Ding, ding, ding. You guessed it, more savings. So check Allstate first, and you could save more today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
September
subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Potential savings and prices vary, including based on how you buy. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
DQ presents the sound of happy. Hear that? That's the DQ chicken strip basket. Only $7.49 for a limited time. We're talking 4 100% white meat seasoned chicken strips served with fries, Texas toast, and DQ signature country gravy. Yeah, you heard that right. For crunch time and no time, it can only be the DQ chicken strip basket. Just $7.49 for a limited time. Get it delivered in the DQ app. Happy tastes good at participating locations.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Head on over to Twitter right now at Wildcats1290. Vote in our poll in terms of the Ring of Honor. Caleb Love has been announced in the men's basketball Ring of Honor. He'll go in this year. Tetairoa McMillan will be inducted into the football Ring of Honor, both class of 24 for football for Tetairoa McMillan and 25 basketball for Caleb Love, but both this past year. So going in immediately.
How do we do classes for COVID?
For COVID?
Like what class is Caleb?
Well, the class, when I say class, I mean like when you're the last year
Left
you
UVA.
played here.
Yeah. But I just mean like in general. Like that vernacular is generally for your senior year of college, right?
Right.
And if you graduated senior year and then you played another year of basketball.
Yeah, whatever your last year is, yeah. If you played another year, or you played 21, then your class of 21, because that was the last. Because we had a whole bunch of super seniors. And Ari McDonald and a number of other sports, especially on the women's side, that played that extra season after COVID-19 and the pandemic. So head on over to Twitter right now and vote. Do you agree with Caleb Love and Tetairoa McMillan being inducted into U of A basketball and football's Ring of Honors immediately? The first vote is a yes. A first vote is a yes on that. Yes, why wait? Or no, minimum 5 years like the pros.
I mean, I don't think there's a correct answer, and I don't want to see it become like the major. You mentioned Major League Baseball Hall of Fame selection process. I think that's the dumbest of all of them.
Yeah, no.
Because, Derek Jeter, Nolan Ryan, like none of these guys were unanimous. We all know they should have been unanimous. There's only ever been one unanimous Major League Hall of Famer, and that's Mariano Rivera, obviously. So, yeah, I mean, there's no correct answer. I think the question I have, DK, is are there other people on the list who are waiting to be inducted who meet the qualification? So if you leapfrog and you've got people who just graduated this year, when there's other deserving people who could be up there, I might have a little problem with that. But I don't have a problem with them inducting them right after they become eligible.
Yeah. We'll need to look at that. We'll have to look at that and see exactly what, in terms of who might be on that list. I'd be interested in knowing who are some of the people that might be on that list and that have not gotten in, but Tetairoa McMillan or Caleb Love got in ahead of them, for sure. Absolutely. That's worth finding out. 2 votes for yes here in the early going. So we'll leave that. I think I wanted to extend that, but I only put it up for a day. So you'll have until about 5 o'clock, halfway through tomorrow's show, that you can vote on that at Wildcats 1290 on Twitter. Don't forget, stay connected while you're on the go with the Wildcats Radio 1290 app. Listen to Arizona Wildcats play-by-play with Brian Jeffries. Brian's out there getting ready for, I believe I never remember the number. I got to write that. I got to put that on something here in front of me. So every time, I believe it's year 38 this year. I believe it's year 38.
It was
87. I thought it was 87 was at the end of the 87 season was when he started. So maybe 87, 88 was the first actual season, but I could be wrong. It might be 86, 87. I always forget. I should write that down.
I just hope he's got some good rest this summer.
Yeah. He did. I think he went up to Colorado and said it was cold up there. So, we'll give him a few more weeks before we start badgering him again for this year to come on the radio.
He's used to that cold. He's from Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
From Pacific Northwest. But you can listen to all your Arizona Wildcats play-by-play, get the latest news on your teams and more, all in one place. Download the Wildcats Radio 1290 app from your app store or Google Play. The Wildcats Radio 1290 app is sponsored by Goodfellas Home Solutions. Show the Wildcats Radio 1290 app to the 1290 crew when we are out and about, and we will tell you how you can enter to win $100. So find us, and you might win some money. All right, Bijan Robinson is in his third season in the National Football League. He and the Atlanta Falcons had a preseason game over the weekend against the Lions. I don't believe Bijan played. He may have played, but just not statted in that game, but has statted a whole ton in his first 2 seasons in the National Football League. Bijan in camp talking about the difference between year 1 in 2023 and year 2 in 2024.
Year 1, like, it was like I had deer in the headlights. I was trying to grasp so much and still play at a high level. And then it's all those like little rookie mistakes on the field. Like, I was trying to pick those up. I was trying to feel how fast the defense was. Like, I'm trying to get all this stuff down while I'm learning how to run a basic route, like for real, and running zone schemes and doing all that stuff. But this year it's like, I already know what it is. Shoot, I know the whole defense. I know who I'm playing against. I know every level of the defense. Like, I'm anticipating everything before the ball even snaps. So that's the difference between year 1 and right now.
We were talking about Bijan Robinson being, I'm just looking at one. His draft rank in terms of fantasy football is 2. ESPN has him ranked 2 right now. So not number 1, but number 2 on their fantasy draft. And now I'm interested to see who they've got ranked as number 1 on their. Well, here we go. 2025
Barkley,
rankings.
right?
2025 rankings. Just give me the list here, people. Don't let me go look for it. I'll look that up. I'll look that up while we hear another quote from Bijan, and whether or not he feels like this is going to be his breakout season in the National Football League.
Man, God willing, just be better than last year. You always want to improve every single year, and you want to improve as a leader, obviously as a player on the field, and you want to continue to get more and more dominant as you continue to grow in this league. And I know it was only my second year last year, but for this year, how I always say, how I was in college in my second year and my third year, you saw a complete difference. It was a complete change. So I think it's the same thing for this year, and just how I've grown in my confidence, and when I'm on that field, me just thinking man, you got to be unstoppable and just be the best player on the field every single time you step on the field. That's where I'm at, and I'm going to play like it, and I'm going to play for this team like it. And obviously the gifts that God's given me will be in effect on that field. And
he has got when you look at Bijan Robinson, he is the top running back in terms of, we mentioned just now, top running back, the number 1 in terms of the fantasy draft. This was not a name I would have thought. Yeah, it's a wide receiver. You want to take a guess? You guys want to take a guess who the top overall selection
Justin
is?
Jefferson.
That would be incorrect. He's number 3.
Really? Are they going to put Jamar Chase over Justin Jefferson?
Jamar Chase. Ooh. Yes.
I don't know about that.
I would tend to agree. I would tend to agree with you on that. I don't know that I would. If I had a choice between those two, I think I would be taking Justin. Although I think the thinking now might be because you've got nobody knows what's going to happen with J.J. McCarthy. You've got an unknown there at quarterback, so maybe that's one of the reasons that Jamar Chase goes to number 1 now, because at least potentially what you're getting from a Joe Burrow at quarterback, the guy that's going to throw him the football.
You certainly didn't know that you were going to get what you got out of Justin Jefferson last season when Sam Darnold was his quarterback, and you didn't know how good he was going to be with Kirk Cousins. I feel like Justin Jefferson might be this generation's version of Tim Brown, where he can take any quarterback and just say, just put the ball in my airspace and I'll bring it down for you.
Well, yeah. I mean, he ran great routes.
Yes, absolutely.
Jamar Chase, Bijan Robinson, Justin Jefferson, Saquon Barkley, Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah,
Those
Gibbs led the NFL in scoring
5.
last year. I was wondering where he would be up there because, I mean, he didn't actually have the rushing numbers that Barkley or Henry did, but he did lead the NFL in scoring.
I think I had Jahmyr Gibbs on my fantasy team last year.
No, Jahmyr Gibbs is a really good back. I'm waiting to see what the Lions offense is going to look like now with their new OC. But nonetheless, Bijan being as high as he is with the running back, you could probably flip him back and forth with Saquon. But Bijan should be a guy a lot of people are going to have their eyeballs on when it comes to game planning around the Falcons offense.
520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. As you get ready for your fantasy draft, are you going to take Bijan Robinson number 1? Now, if I'm drafting like I did for my baseball, I might just take all local guys. I'll take all the local guys.
I don't know if you should do that considering your last one.
Yeah, because I'm in last place right now.
I think you should draft.
I'll take Bijan Robinson. I'll take Tetairoa McMillan. I can't take Nick Foles because he's retired, so I can't take him at quarterback. Who else is out there that I can take in my fantasy draft? I'll take Nick Folk as my kicker. Or Tyler Loop. Nick, I'll take Tyler.
Oh, now you got to take it. Now you got to pick.
Yeah, I got to pick between Tyler Loop and Nick Folk.
What do you say, J-Dub?
I think you should draft only Josh's and Joe's.
That's a very the league style of draft right there.
Yeah, just Josh's and Joe's on your team.
That would be a pretty good draft, though, right? Josh Allen.
Hey, there's some guys out there.
Joe Mixon. I mean, yeah, you could do pretty well with that. That might not be a bad way to go.
Draft only Pukas, and all of a sudden you only get one guy.
Right.
Puka Nacua.
Only Amon-Ra's.
Only Amon-Ra's. There you go. I don't think we have
anyone with a apostrophe in their name. So you've got Jamar Chase, you got Devon Achane. Very few. I don't know if I'm on Ross counts because that's a hyphen rather than an apostrophe.
Yeah.
We'll have to pare down, and we'll start going through these maybe later in the week. We've got all of these future bets from BetMGM Network, and so we'll have to start paring these down and go. Maybe we'll do a couple a day, the ones we are going to take and the ones we're going to pass on. But in terms of Bijan Robinson, one of the suggestions was Bijan Robinson Offensive Player of the Year, and that's at plus 1,500 right now. So we'll have to decide. Puka Nacua is also on this list, Offensive Player of the Year. Travis Hunter, Offensive Rookie of the Year. So we'll have to go down this list and decide which
I
ones
would
we
not
want to
take
take
that bet.
No,
I think he gets too much
either.
time on the defensive side. I don't think he's going to put the numbers up.
Yeah, I don't think so either. That's probably not a bet we would want to take for sure. But right now it's at plus 700, Offensive Rookie of the Year, Travis Hunter, if you want to do anything with that. All right, before we get to break here, let's I mentioned at the top of the show that the Mercury lost yesterday at home to the Atlanta Dream. Brittany Griner has been dealing with an injury, but she came back. Wasn't much of a factor in the ball game, but she did play 13 minutes and scored 2 points and grabbed a couple of rebounds. The triple-double streak ended for Alyssa Thomas. She had triple-doubles in 3 straight games, but 21 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists in the loss to the Dream, 74-66. Let's hear after the ball game from Alyssa Thomas on the mental lapses she felt that the Mercury had in their loss yesterday.
I mean, today was the first quarter. We didn't come out ready to play. They punched us in our mouth early, and it felt like for a majority of the game we were playing from behind. We weren't getting to our spots as quick as we needed to, and we just weren't making good reads today. Atlanta definitely has had our number, and it's just something we got to continue to improve in and watch video on. I think they get a lot more 50-50 balls than we do. And then just we make a lot of mental lapse of, leaving shooters or, going to double team and panicking when Bree Jones has the ball. So for us, it's, again, another learning experience, something we had to continue to grow in. And I'm sure we will see them again in playoffs, and we have to be ready.
DeWanna Bonner solid off the bench again in 26 minutes, had 16 points, but bad shooting from the starters after Alyssa Thomas. Natasha Mack, Satu Sabale, and Kalia Copper combined to go 7 for 31 from the field and 1 of 10 from 3 in the ball game, and that's a tough recipe. And it results in a loss to the Dream. So the Mercury fall to 19-12 on the season. Next up will be a game at home against the Las Vegas Aces, who got a pretty big performance from their star over the weekend.
I didn't see the game, but I did read that Aja had 30 and 20, DK.
Aja Wilson.
Yeah, Aja Wilson.
Wow.
30 points and 20 rebounds. First ever 30-20 game in WNBA history.
We've had a few firsts in the WNBA.
Seems like you read that
this
quite a
past
bit
year.
lately, yeah.
First triple doubles and first 30-20 game as well. So records being broken all over the association. DK on the sports tip, 520-848-1290. We've got a couple of questions out there. Do you believe the right decision is to put Caleb Love and Tetairoa McMillan into the Ring of Honors immediately? Right now, it is a landslide. 5 votes, all yes. So I'm going to jump on right now and cast my vote for no, just so we can get on the docket.
Such a contrarian.
Okay.
I am.
All right,
I
Mr.
am.
Ichiro shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. All right.
I never said that. I mean, I just
that's the mindset.
Somebody
just wait your
thumb out
turn.
a tweet.
Wait your
David
turn.
Kelly hates Caleb Love. That's
didn't
the tweet that's coming. That's how this
no,
works, guys.
no.
We all know that's how this works. Yeah.
No, just say. I'm
Inflammatory tweet.
Right, exactly.
Cricket, get us out of here before they get me in more trouble.
From the Auto Nation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. River Road near First Avenue, collision occurred there. Pretty significant heavy backups. On westbound River Road approaching First Avenue. Other collisions, Greasewood south of Anklam and also Alvernon south of Glen. Earlier police activity, Linda Vista near Camino de Oeste. 105 tomorrow, 100 Wednesday, and 103 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
Auto Nation Honda Tucson at the Auto Mall is your premier automotive destination in town. Explore the new 2025 Honda models and extensive collection of pre-owned vehicles. Experience no-hassle financing and our no-haggle one-price selection. Visit AutoNation Honda Tucson at the Auto Mall today.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Guess what? Discover's accepted at 99% of places to take credit cards nationwide. You heard right, 99%. If you don't think so, maybe it's time to face facts. You're stuck in the past. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report, learn more at discover.com/credit card.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
That's right. What's right? What the singing people just said.
Gary, you have your earbuds in. I don't know what you're hearing.
Oh, this.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
That's right.
Hi, guys. What's right? That I have my earbuds in.
No, you don't. We were listening to the singing people.
Maybe I should go out and come back in again.
It's the thing about how we arrive in one day or your repair is free.
Oh, right. It's the Alaskan AC guarantee, so people aren't left waiting for a repairman. Don't we have singing people for that? Yes. Here, use my earbuds. Gross.
Just play it, Gary.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
That's right.
I know, right?
Right. I'm glad we had this meeting.
AlaskanAC.com.
Get your backyard summer ready with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you want to dive in this summer, now is the time to visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilder.com. Ask about our 60-day pool. To be summer ready, First Choice is the only choice.
It's DK on the sports tip. Did you hear what we were talking about?
The thing with the WNBA All-Star Game, if I'm not mistaken, they were going to bring back the 4-point spot, which was those little circles near midcourt.
They call that the Clark.
Yeah, the Clark spot. The logo shot.
Is it sponsored by State Farm?
I don't know if it's sponsored by State Farm, but I imagine it would be a very easy advertising spot.
DK on the sports tip, Monday through Fridays at 3, right here on Wildcats Radio, 1290.
With Progressive, you can reach customer service in the way that's easiest for you, by phone, app, or online. We know it would be great if we just magically appeared, but that's more of a genie thing, and we do insurance. But with us, you'd be like, well, it wasn't a genie, but it was great customer service, so that's nice. And sure, you probably would still like the whole 3 wishes thing, so if you meet a genie, you should definitely ask. But when you need us, contact Progressive by phone, app, or online. Just no genies. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Gain a global perspective and specialized skills that many of today's top employers are seeking with an MBA from University of Maryland Global Campus. Study online and complete your degree in just 16 months for about $21K. Choose from MBA specializations in global business, marketing, HR, finance, and more. No application fee if you apply by September 3rd. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 85% water, right?
85% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients. Don't pay for water, pay for clean.
Save $10 when you spend $30 on Tide and Downy. Water content based on the leading Bargain liquid detergent. Must buy at least one participating Tide or Dreft detergent item, plus at least one participating Downy and or Bounce scent booster, liquid fabric softener, or dryer sheets. Prepaid card by mail. Visit pglaundryrebate.com for terms and conditions.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
when the storm rolls in, my time to find a pet-friendly evacuation center will have run out.
The scorching heat wave will leave me powerless to cool my insulin.
I'll face a hurricane without meds. Now that's a tough pill to swallow.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is JR from the JR Sport Brief Show with a Sports Minute. Matthew Stafford received an epidural shot last week and he still can't practice? A 37-year-old QB with a history of back issues doesn't bode well for the Rams, who are trying to compete for another Super Bowl. I know it's August, but if Stafford's back is killing him now, we're supposed to believe the issue won't crop up during the season. Good luck, Matt, and feel better. Everybody with a bad back feel better. I'm JR from the JR Sport Brief Show.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
We'll talk some football tomorrow, some Arizona Wildcats football. Brian Peterson from AZ Desert Swarm will join us on the program in the 5 o'clock hour. We'll get Brian's thoughts. You've heard me rant and rave for the last 2 weeks about camp. We'll get somebody else's opinion on what they're seeing from Arizona Wildcats football. Head on over to our Twitter page right now at Wildcats1290. You can vote in our question of the day. Do you agree Caleb Love and Tetairoa McMillan being inducted into the Ring of Honors immediately is the right thing? I had to get on there and break up the 100% yes votes with my no votes because I'm one of those people that believes that you should have to wait a little bit for these types of honors. So now it is now 83% to 17% with my no vote mixed in there. I've been playing some golf. I mean, you may know I like to play a little bit of golf. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm very good at it, but I do like to play a little golf. It's something that me and my wife like to go out and enjoy together. And last couple of weeks, I've played a couple different courses that I've never played here in Southern Arizona. The first was Saddlebrook Ranch up north in Oracle, and that was I've said before that my favorite course in town is Star Pass, but I would probably now put that course up at Saddlebrook Ranch up there maybe as a number 2 on my list. I mean, just a really, really nice track. I mean, like when you hit your ball into the fairway and you've got actually good grass that you can hit the ball off in the fairway, it almost seems like it improves your game so much more versus if you're on a course where the fairways are kind of hard and you can't really hit through the grass and that kind of thing. And so really enjoyed playing up at Saddlebrook Ranch a couple weeks ago. And then I played Rancho Del Lago about a week ago. Fortunately, it was a week ago because somebody decided to pull a gun out there apparently yesterday. I don't know if you guys heard about that. But not a course I probably need to go play again. Was not all that impressed with Rancho Del Lago. And the talk about a hard track. Yeah, that's probably a 35-minute drive I don't really need to make again. The second, now we didn't play 18. We only because we generally go out later in the afternoon, and so we might play 12 holes or so. This second 9 seemed to be in a little bit better shape than the first 9 out at Rancho Del Lago. But how about somebody pulling a gun on a golf course because they were upset with the pace of play, the pace of the group in front of them? What drives you to do something like that?
Insanity.
Absolute insanity. I mean, this is not the word, like, this is not even close to being like, oh, this is the craziest thing that's happened on golf course. There's been a lot of weird things happened. A lot of times where you get recordings of people deciding that they want to fight.
Let's see, top 10 weirdest things to happen on a golf course during a PGA event. Let's go see.
I mean, even with non-PGA events, I mean, we just had the video that came up about a month ago where a former NHL enforcer decided he was going to beat the brains out of the drunkard that was in front of him in his grouping. I mean, it's sometimes golf can bring out the best of times. It can also bring out the worst in people. That's the true statement about golf, is that it's very, very calming so long as your group that you're with is willing to play a part of that experience.
Yeah, that's just it's crazy to me to think that we're pulling guns on each other on a golf course, or who knows? It was the cops were called. I'd be interested to kind of find out what happened.
Imagine you got to fix that divot.
I mean,
we might have a new poll for tomorrow. A caller just called up, and he wants to know about the Arizona high school requirements for the Hall of Fame. And I know there's the Pima County, and I know that, DK, you're very well versed in all that. And I said, we only have a couple minutes left in our show, but maybe we can talk about that tomorrow.
The high school Hall of Fame? Do they have a high school Hall of Fame here?
I know there's a Pima County Athletics Hall of Fame, so that might be kind of in the same vein as that.
Yeah, I have no idea. On that, but we definitely will look that up and try to maybe report back on that. Also happening tomorrow, we're going to get a chance to hear from Bryce James for the first time. We've had a chance to have audiences with a number of the basketball players throughout the summer and the newcomers, and as well as the veterans coming back like Toby Awaka and Anthony Del Orso and the like. And we will hear from Bryce James for the first time, a very highly publicized incoming freshman on this year's Wildcats club. So we will look forward to hearing Bryce's thoughts here on being here in Tucson and being a part of this program. Obviously, that brings his presence here, just based on who he is, shines a very large light on this program, and that's never a bad thing. Especially, I mean, I've heard everything I've heard about him is he's an exceptional kid, just like his brother. Works hard, and it's going to be fun to have that young man on the roster coming up this year. So we will hear from Bryce James tomorrow. Right now, though, it's time for your Desert Diamond Casino replay. That's brought to you by Desert Diamond Casino Sportsbook. It is Arizona's best bet. We've got baseball here tonight in Tucson. Game 3 of the Pecos League Championship Series. I'll be out there tonight. Hopefully the Tucson Saguaros can bring home a title. We had a chance to have Anthony Manacero. He goes by the nickname of Ferrari, apparently, on the show. He's out of Staten Island, or Long Island, New York. He went to college. He's out of Staten Island. He went to college on Long Island, New York, and asked Anthony about the pitcher that they're going to face tonight and how much background they had on this young man. Read somebody else's jersey.
Yes, but I'll take those numbers because if I were to pitch, I wouldn't have done very well.
You wouldn't have had 2 strikeouts, huh?
Oh no, definitely not.
So do you know who the starting pitcher for them is tonight? And have you guys faced him before? What do you know about that background?
I've heard that the starter we faced in Game 1 may be pitching for them tonight.
Wow.
And yes, if we face him, we're familiar with his stuff, with his pitches. And most of their bullpen guys we've seen so far in the last 2 games, because it's just been high-scoring, crazy situations. They've had to bring in a bunch of different guys. And their roster is very talented, so we just got to be ready for anything.
What was the key in the 8th inning last night for you guys to rally and get the victory?
It was just, I keep bringing it up, but we always say in the dugout, just one pitch at a time, one at-bat at a time, work the counts, work the ABs, put the balls in play, and then we got a couple base hits, a couple lucky breaks with some walks, and it was very fulfilling when we got the hit by pitch by Hal to tie it, and then our third baseman and catcher Brian got the single up the middle, and that gave us some insurance going into the 9th. And then Trayshawn Pascal, he locked it down in the 9th inning. So it brought us to tonight, and I can't wait for that.
And how about the job in the 5th inning that Nate Nacarado did with the coming in bases loaded, 1 out, and getting out of that jam?
Yes, that was awesome. Came in, didn't give up a single run, got the first strikeout, and then a pop-up. He's just been another guy out of the bullpen that we can roll out there and just be confident that he's going to get the job done, just like everybody else we have.
There you go. Well, it is 7 o'clock tonight. Game 3, deciding Game 3, 1 game for a title. Saguaro's trying to bring home number 4 in the Pecos League. Hey, Anthony, best of luck out there tonight, and hopefully we're talking about a championship on the show tomorrow.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me, and hopefully, yes, sir, we'll try and get it done.
That is Anthony Manassero. It is your Desert Diamond Casino replay. It is brought to you by Desert Diamond Casino Sportsbook. It is Arizona's best bet. All right, this would be title number 4 for the Saguaros. They won the championship in 2016 in a 2-zip sweep. They lost the championship in 2020 in a 2-zip sweep. They lost the championship in 21 in a 2-1 loss. I'm sorry, I'm getting this wrong. They won in 2020 in a 2-zip sweep. They won in 21 in a 3-game series. But they've lost the last 2 times they've been in the finals, and both of those were in 3 games to the San Rafael Pacifics in 2023. So trying to get title number 4 tonight, 7 o'clock, out at the Keno Veterans Memorial Stadium. Decent crowd out there last night, but we'd love to see more folks out to support these guys. I remember I was there when they won the last title that night in 2021, and it was something to see for sure. I'd like to get number 4 for this squad tonight. All right, that's going to wrap up our show. We appreciate everybody that was a part of it. Anthony Manassero for joining us. Don't forget to download our app, the Wildcats Radio 1290 app. It slaps. It's got everything you need to know about what's happening here, sports in Southern Arizona. We also have a brand new website, wildcatsradio1290.com. Let us know what you think of the new website. It's still a work in progress. We're still getting things placed and put together, but a little bit maybe more easier to navigate than the website that we've had for you in the past. For JW Madden, for Dragon Ball, for cricket, my name is David Kelly. That's our time for tonight. Thank you very much for your time. We will talk to you again tomorrow right here, 3 o'clock, DK on the Sports Tip. You are listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the Auto Nation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic. Collisions River Road and 1st Avenue with westbound backups. Other wrecks, Alvernon south of Glen, Greasewood south of Anklam. Signals malfunctioning, Wilmot south of Broadway, Wilmot and Park Place Drive. 105 tomorrow, 100 Wednesday, 103 now. And I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Guess what? Discover's accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. You heard right, 99%. If you don't think so, maybe it's time to face facts. You're stuck in the past. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report, learn more at discover.com. Diamondbackspecialty.com/credit-card.
More fiber and laxatives, eh? Who are you? I'm future you. Future me? Constipation with belly pain still coming back? Our doctor figured it out. It's irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, and Linzess could help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Don't miss out on any of the action as the University of Arizona takes on the Big 12 Conference.
Bradley for 3. Jaden Bradley has come alive in the second half.
You're listening to the flagship home of Arizona Wildcats athletics. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Average doesn't grow your business. Smart strategy does. At Cumulus Digital, our campaigns outperform industry benchmarks by more than 25% because we go beyond clicks and impressions, showing you exactly who saw your ad. We build solutions that fit more than 4,000 businesses that partner with us every month. Let's build one for you. You're not average, and your marketing results shouldn't be either. Visit cumulusdigital.com today.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up with science.
You mean they don't use yesterday's newspaper?
No, they use the latest in technology and innovation to eliminate bugs, bees, termites, weeds, and more.
So no as seen on TV salt guns?
Nope, only solutions that target insect biology, using chemistry to help protect the environment, people, and their pets.
You are so smart.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up. Call 886-3029 or visit essentialpest.com.
The countdown to Arizona football is on.
Fires the pass towards the back corner. Touchdown, Arizona. It was Hunter. Yeah, Chris Hunter.
When Chris Hunter and the Cats take the field on August 30th, you'll hear it right here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
It's time to talk Grizzly.
The air conditioner made specifically for Arizona summers.
Alaskan AC introduced the Grizzly a couple years ago, and the reviews are pouring in.
This one says, I love how quiet it is. I can hardly hear it come on, but I'm always comfortable.
Another person writes, finally an air conditioner that can withstand the desert heat and dust.
This one says, I like its fluffy fur and cute black nose.
Anyway, if it's time to upgrade your AC, you can't do better than the Grizzly.
Only available at Alaskan AC.
People love it.
Like this person who said, we live in an older home and the Grizzly keeps us comfortable in every room.
Or this guy. We live just outside of town and the dust is horrible. Glad we have an AC that can take it.
Or this one. He's so cuddly and has these adorable pads on his paws.
Gary, I think you're on a different webpage.
Gary, I think you're different.
Learn more about the Grizzly at alaskanac.com.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 85% water, right?
85% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients. Don't pay for water, pay for clean.
Save $10 when you spend $30 on Tide and Downy. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent. Must buy at least one participating Tide or Dreft detergent item, plus at least one participating Downy and or Bounce scent booster, liquid fabric softener, or dryer sheets. Prepaid card by mail. Visit pglaundryrebate.com for terms and conditions.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. We talk Diamondbacks baseball daily.
Overall, inside of our culture, it's built on love.